I know
Keep
y'all
me
been
mark
live
our
this whole
world.
time. I guess it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, we've been live on YouTube, so we're good.
No, but
Wait,
it's
are you
still
making a
good
room code?
to
I'll
protect
just make a
yourself.
room. I'll just make a room.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, you got the DM right, Roger?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I got. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. Don't worry, I'm cooking.
In my people in my chat, I found the new meme, bro. My boy Rocky Wrench, really the goat.
The first thing that was said, one of the first things that was said in the year is probably best. It wasn't on your stream. It's all good.
All right.
What did they send?
Not said, but a topic was brought up.
Let's repeat it. What was going on? What was the topic?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's
like, a pretty important topic.
Yes, but
Important who?
just scroll up the thing before the post you made, Roger. Scroll up and read that thing Zeph put, and you'll know.
Oh, the mango stuff.
Yes.
Oh. What's the topic? He was creepy and he got kicked out. Good. Next. Like, that's the answer. What's
it's just, it's a little bit above the level of creepy.
It was just,
well, but I mean, he was harassing people. He was harassing people live on a stream. Like, of course he's going to get kicked out. Did people think otherwise?
Should have got kicked out during the stream. I don't know why any of the other males at the event didn't say anything.
That's kind of, yeah, you're cooking.
I think everyone there is a little responsible.
I also kind of feel, well, I guess this is podcastable potentially, but I think it's kind of weird.
Let's not put this on the podcast.
I feel like everything we can say has already been said.
Well,
hey, you can say what you want to say, Roger, but sorry. Let's just not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say what you want to say, though.
No, all I was going to say is that I feel like he's acted like this for years. So, like, Cloud9 just now suddenly being like, oh, because there's video evidence now.
Well, to be
they're
honest,
like, oh, yeah, we'll kick him out. But it's like
also,
he did this
I'm pretty sure
for such a long time.
wants to get out of Smash because it's a dead piece of shit.
It could be that too. And so this is like their excuse. But to me, it's like he's acted like this for years. So it's not really like that big of a surprise, Dude was always drunk at events and doing things. He's a great player, but that doesn't excuse his behavior.
Yeah.
That's what it is, What are people like mad they kicked him out, or like what's the?
Of course there are.
Those are just drones.
Oh,
they're Smash players. They care more about their scene than the safety of people.
Yeah, I still, Axe's take was like, it was funny to me. I kind of get what he's saying, but it was still funny because he's like, Mango needs to do better. Like, okay, so he's just saying like Mango needs to do better. You gotta be a role model to your kids and the entire community. And I'm thinking, how is Mango?
He's a fucking alcoholic that plays video games for a living.
But
oh, what the fuck? Hold on.
That is just the view Mango has had in the melee scene. So it is what it is.
Wait, Majora, is that true? Did Ludwig actually say that?
Yes.
What in the world?
No wonder. Oh, bro, no wonder I couldn't fucking. I wasn't connected to the internet. What the fuck?
I mean, no, people are actually just Mango can do no wrong kind of thing.
There's there's video of this though.
I think it's because it's on video. That's
that's why. Yeah. Because I was like,
you really can't do anything about this.
Yeah.
It's like,
Obi, come on,
you have
buddy.
to do something now.
I know you don't like him either. It's okay. Just you could be quiet. It's okay. Not you, McDermott. I'm talking to Obi.
Bro, we all
Obi's
you're
just
talking
shocked.
to your dog. Why you gotta do that?
Well, no, because I said we know you don't like him. I wasn't meaning you.
I thought Obi was barking at McDermott too. Yeah.
What are you saying, buddy?
I'm not putting up with this. Hell no. That goddamn dog on my fucking ear, man. What the fuck? Hell no.
What are you saying? Come here.
Yeah, we're canceling your fucking dog. Oh, that fucking bullet bill actually fucked me over so hard.
Is there not a way to turn off your Switch from the menu? Do I actually have to get up and press the button? What the fuck?
I think if you hold the home button, you can power it down from the controller.
Yeah, you put it in sleep mode, but it won't turn it off.
Yo, this fucking shit's.
Oh, I just press it and the switch is like right next to me. But yeah, I'm pretty sure with the controller you can do it. Also, most of the time, my Switch has a GameCube controller, so you know, no home button.
Yep.
This is good news.
I forgot about that song.
The Invincible stuff?
What?
I heard that this is good news. That's from Invincible. I know that because of Fidel. He taught me.
Who?
I know the Invincible memes now.
You talking about DePhil?
Where is he? Is he even live right now?
Yes.
What up, boy? Yeah.
Why
I'm gonna
you
call
mad?
him. I'm gonna bring him on over.
No, you're good,
Huh?
bro.
You have to send him an invite, by the way. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have one.
Oh, that's right. Because his just that's right. He
You
literally
guys
can't
actually
get in the
kicked
room.
him out?
No, he got hacked.
Well, he got hacked.
I was told he was
When?
fired.
It was like
When? He already got hacked. We know he got.
I mean,
hacked.
if he got fired, what are we
That was
doing
like
with
years
his?
ago.
What are we doing with his chunk of the money then? If he's not coming
We
to
are
Japan with
splitting
us?
it amongst ourselves. We all get to buy more stuff while we're there.
Nice, dude. That sounds good to me.
That's
All
what I'm
right,
saying.
good stuff.
Either way, send him the tjapantime.com/discord so he can join, say something. We can have Warchamp give him the role.
Who? What's happening?
Fidel.
Send me the link, McDareth,
Okay.
and I'll copy it and I'll put it in there right now.
No, I actually have to.
Well, lower your tone, bro. I'm playing the intro now.
Ooh.
The fuck is going on, bro?
Welcome to Jurassic Park, and Japan time starts right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Japan Time podcast for Monday, June 23rd, 2025. I'm your host, Rogers Base. I'm joined by my co-host, Shofu. And Shofu, do you know what day today is?
It's June 23rd, 2025.
Right, but it's a very special day. Do you know why today is such a special day?
Absolutely not.
Because today is Coast's birthday! Happy birthday
my
to
God.
you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, dear Coastworth! Welcome to your 30s! Welcome!
Wait, hold on. What's wrong with Chrome? What? I know you did not make an AI song for Steve for C. Ain't no way. Yo, stop the song. Stop the song.
All right, wrap it up, Ricky. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. Wrap it up.
There we
Wrap
go.
it up.
There
Go,
we go.
Ricky,
There
wrap
we
it
go. There we go. We're done.
That was
That was
crazy.
crazy. They had to do something special though. It's your 30th birthday, Coast. You can now join the Unk Club with me and Ricky and Shofu.
Whoa,
Welcome.
whoa. You 30? You God damn, you old
God
as fuck.
Damn, Roger.
I'm not. You're not talking with your brittle bone ass over there.
Oh my God!
That man Coast old as a bitch. God damn.
You're older. You're 4 years older.
You were there when they made the 10 Commandments. What are you talking about?
Shit. See, I knew
Your memory
Ricky
fading,
and
bro.
Shofu.
I think your age catching up to you.
Coast old as fuck, bro. God damn, bro.
Bro, you were there when they created fire.
I was not.
God.
Hell no.
I was not.
The way he just straight up.
Shut up.
I did actually invent the wheel.
Old
That is
hell,
true.
boy.
Speaking of Nintendo, they need to give me some. They need to give me some money because obviously they used my design for the wheel to make the Switch wheel for Mario Kart World. So hit me up, Nintendo. Give me some extra little goodies. I need that. I need that kickback.
And the Wii wheel.
And the Wii wheel, exactly. And the Wii wheel, exactly. By the way, the voice you just heard is, of course, the one and only Mr. Viram. How are you, Viram?
Bro,
Hope
you
you're having a lovely day
got
today.
something about that dog back there, bro.
He's having a good time. He's just wishing Coach happy birthday.
What do you
How about you
mean?
worry about your own dog?
What?
You worry about your own dog.
All right, let me just blast some music in the background real quick.
Blast him. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The people love Obi. And you know who else the people love?
I didn't ask what they love.
I was going to say Zeph. What's up, Zeph?
Damn, I didn't even really get a chance to properly say hello.
Oh, well, hello,
I didn't
Viram.
really give
How
Viram-
are you, bro? I'm sorry about that. Shofu
I'm
cut in.
splendid, thank you.
It was very rude. I'm glad you're doing well as well. Someone who's also doing well, of course, we have Tito coming to LA next week with his show. What's up, Tito?
It's not my show.
Well, aren't you part of it?
That's Tito's show,
It's
bro.
not much. What?
Why
Hey,
the hell
yo.
was I before Tito?
I don't know. I just because I said the
going on?
people love you, so I'm going out of order. I'm changing things up a little bit. Do you not
What
want
is
me to do
going on,
that?
man? This show already.
I'm introducing everybody. It only sucks because you're over there playing Mario Kart right now,
I'm
and we're
not.
not even
I
in the
can't
middle of a
even
Mario
play
Kart.
the game.
Because we're talking right now. We're doing the intro to the show. Get off Mario Kart.
Yo.
Jesus.
I didn't want to
Like
listen.
right now.
He was trying to hop
fuck,
on that
man?
and go
What
boing
is this
boing.
show so far?
All right. Well, speaking of hopping on things, we got McDareth. How are you?
Hey,
Let's
yo.
There's no fucking way.
Hey,
I'm
yo.
over here thinking, like, how's Roger
Ricky
gonna
Bob's
toss it to me this week?
Hey,
Bro, I
fucking yo,
Ricky,
bro.
I will.
What you go? Actually, I am afraid of you, McDareth. I ain't gonna care. I take that threat very seriously.
Hey, yes,
yo.
I'm here and existing.
That's good.
And,
You having a good
yeah.
day?
Hey,
Yeah, good
fucking
day.
yo.
Yeah. Oh, and then we got Ricky. What's up, Ricky?
Hey,
Ricky, go
Pasa la trasera. Guerra Mundia. There we go.
I don't know what that means, but I hope you didn't yell at me.
Yep, it's done.
Is that a soundbite, or are you actually saying that? Like, yippee!
No, that was me saying.
soundbite. No, that is a soundbite.
I really
know
said
what
that
that's
shit.
from.
No, I really said that shit.
What is it from? What's it from?
That's
Coach?
It's
From
from me.
some girl playing Fortnite with Coca-Cola.
With Coca-Cola? What the
Yeah,
heck?
she was excited that she has Coca-Cola and playing
Ricky,
Fortnite. I know,
when I catch you,
I know
Ricky,
what that is.
Ricky, when I catch you, Ricky, when I catch you, Ricky,
Where'd you get that?
Huh?
Some of these sound bites are throwing me off.
Ricky,
I love that one. I fucking love that one.
Well, something else that I love is the Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct, because man, oh man, that was obviously the big topic of discussion since the last show. There was a big single title direct for Donkey Kong Bonanza, the big upcoming single-player action platformer game for Nintendo Switch 2. All of us, I think, watched the direct. Most of us reacted to it. Shofu had a very questionable reaction. I have some questions with something that Shofu said during that reaction.
Hit me.
But either way, let's open the floor. Let's talk about it a little bit. Donkey Kong Bonanza. First off, I want to ask you all, how were you feeling about it after the initial reveal, and how are you feeling now? We can
That
go
shit
in
looks
Discord
cool.
order. So there you go. Or we could start with Shofu. That's great. So Shofu, go ahead. No, you're saying something during the show. That's great. That's more than usual. So I want to hear from you. Let's go. We got to take what we can
Maybe
get.
because
man.
it's a fucking relevant topic to me, bro.
Well, let's hear about. Okay, so
It
why
was
are you
cool,
so
though.
excited?
I mean, it just looks like they actually got, like, they made a game where you can actually do some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see they're utilizing this console properly. It just looks like a nice game. He was moving around, schmoving around. You know what I'm saying? He's doing a lot of shit, man. Just a wacky game. It looks like, and I'm excited to play it.
Absolutely. Now, McDareth, go ahead. I just didn't want to cut off Shofu because I wanted to make sure
that's all
you guys
good.
think first.
Blake.
Yeah.
I'm super excited.
Wait, hold on. Wait, stop real quick. What the fuck are you talking about, Tito? What are you doing? We're 10 minutes into the show. What are you doing?
Just talk to him for a second, Roger.
What's actually going on? You're having a glaze. Why are you? Is glazing on your mind? Like, why do you keep saying this? What do you?
That was
it's crazy. It's crazy to say glazing is on your mind when it's every other thing you say.
That was kind of crazy what you just said. That was.
That you have glazing
this
on your mind.
plays into my theory and bit that the people, if you say pause or no homo or something, you're gay for that.
Bro, you're gay for sucking my dick.
What the fuck?
You never seen Harold and Kumar?
He kind of got you there.
No. I've seen Harold and Kumar. I just didn't expect it.
Oh, is that where that's from?
That's where that's from. Yeah. No. That's from being a mom. Anyways. Okay, back to McDareth. McDareth, I'm sorry. How are you feeling about Donkey
Bonanza? Bonanza.
No,
That's right.
I was excited when they first announced it just to see more of it because I like Donkey Kong 64 and they haven't really done 3D Donkey Kong like this since 64. So getting this game, I was already excited. Then when they actually go full details and everything, and it's the amount of content that's in this game is crazy. Like I was not expecting this much from a Donkey Kong game.
I'm just curious what
it's like playing like you're playing like a Disney movie.
Very much so. Yeah, the animation quality is really good. I was just curious. You
just
said
this little girl and Pixar, I guess, because they do that a lot.
Well, I guess that's been like a trend too. I think like these buddy type things. You look at something like Monsters Inc. where they had Boo and Sully and stuff like that, where you've got
Wreck-It Ralph as well.
Wreck-It Ralph. It is. I mean,
It's also a really
Donkey Kong
easy
in this
way
is literally
to-
wearing overalls.
It's really easy to play. And like if they're doing a story, it's really easy to play on people's emotions if you do little girl and big creature.
Yeah. It does look amazing though with the animation. I think you touched on it looking like a Disney movie, and it does very much look like that. I just like all the little facial expressions that Donkey Kong's making this time around, and like even Pauline even looks super expressive. Like all the different there's different screenshots and stuff that they've released, and they've even started doing the thing that they used to do on Nintendo Today with Donkey Kong, where they were showing these different facial animations. Where now they're doing that with Pauline too. But I want to continue this conversation, just like general thoughts first. I'm going to throw things back to Coast. How are you, Coast? How are you feeling about it?
First of all, I just gotta say, hey, Nintendo gamers. Like, I just gotta throw that in there.
Oh yeah, you didn't say that. I'm sorry. We wish you happy birthday, and we missed your whole bit. I'm sorry.
I kind of have a hot take on what I saw for Bonanza.
Let's hear it.
Like, obviously, it looks fucking amazing. I'm excited to play this fucking game. Like, the design of the world and the aesthetic for it, I think, is very fitting. Although it is like, what's the word I'm looking for? Very new to Donkey Kong. Like, obviously, it's way out of the norm for him. But I feel like immediately when the trailer started playing and there was a vocal track, I was like, okay. I wasn't too sure if I was feeling it, and then they kept showing more stuff, and I'm like, okay, this game's gonna be sick. Like, without a doubt, objectively, it's gonna be a great game. But I kept seeing things that they were showing, and I was like, this kind of feels like it's just Odyssey 1.5, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But
it's the same guys.
I just feel like DK, like, although there are new things in this game for him, I feel like DK is struggling to get his own identity. And with this being very similar to Odyssey and his previous games being really just like Donkey Kong Country Returns rehashes and stuff, I was like slightly disappointed, but I know that feeling will probably wither away once the game drops.
Well, they like added stuff to give him an identity in this.
all the bonanza powers with
Yeah,
like the
like,
zebra
there
power and the
are
ostrich power.
something.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of like, I'm not saying it's an exact, but
And they remixed the animal buddies from the first couple games. They're the
yeah,
big.
that was cool. I like
Yep.
that.
Yeah.
And this game has so many fucking Easter eggs in it and shit
Oh,
too.
dude, it's like
Love-
packed with it. I mean, the trailer, because we finally see Diddy and Dixie, right? They're in charge of like whatever that racing minigame is. You've got Cranky and Ramby are in there. A bunch of the other animal buddies that you were talking about, Zeph, they show up as fossils. So like there was something in one of the screenshots, right, where there was like, what's the frog's name? Winky or something? They had like, you see a fossil of him. And obviously, going to what Coast was saying too, with all the different mechanics seeming like Odyssey and the identity, I remember having this exact conversation like 3 or 4 episodes ago when I came back from the Switch 2 experience talking about it. When I said it felt a lot like Mario Odyssey, even when I played it, but it just felt like an action game sort of combined with Mario Odyssey. And I kind of still stand by that. It does look like, now that we know we can unlock costumes and, you have the different types of currency, like there is, and you find the bananas all over the place. The same way you kind of find the moons all over the place.
I think it's extra glaring simply because I'm pretty sure the games are using identical cameras.
They probably
the game
are.
is literally on the same engine.
Yeah, and it definitely is on the same engine. I think,
like, I'm pretty sure the FOV and like everything is the exact same as Odyssey.
I could tell immediately once they were like, you can take screenshots and stuff, and literally everything was the exact same. Oh yeah, it's the same engine.
Yeah.
The thing about it that I think is strange, though, not strange in like a bad way, but I think from watching it and going to what you were talking about with like the game finding its identity, it does seem to me like whatever the next 3D Mario is,
they're on the right track.
It's not going to be like Odyssey,
Yeah.
But I think they knew people liked Odyssey and liked like the speed running mechanics and all the different types of mobility that you have in that kind of game, and they wanted to sort of siphon that into another franchise that can maybe like pick up the mantle so that we can get Odyssey type gameplay with like a major Nintendo franchise while Mario can still evolve and do something else. And I almost feel like that's the point of this game, is to give Donkey Kong the identity again, right? Because like DK wasn't made by a Japanese developer since I believe Donkey Kong 94, right? Like that's the last Japanese developed Donkey Kong game, because Donkey Kong Country was obviously Rare. And then even with Country Returns, after Country and DK64 and Rare got acquisition by Microsoft, Returns was made by Retro in the United States. So Japan hasn't made...
He took like a complete backseat for a while too.
Yeah.
Like he only got... You could like them,
GameCube era?
but like
Bro,
he only got bad budget games. Like you can enjoy them, but they definitely weren't anything special. And
the only one
on
I could
top
think
of it,
of was Jungle Beat, right? Jungle Beat that was made in Japan, wasn't it? Yeah.
On top of it, he like disappeared from Mario Party as a playable character. He became an NPC.
Sure.
Yeah, he just disappeared for a while, and now
he's back with the squad. Yeah. I mean, that's also kind of what this seems like, is that they're folding him more and more into the Mario canon as opposed to being a separate franchise, which I kind of think makes sense, right?
It'd
like
be
you
nice
have
to see more of this, like a Yoshi series that is like,
that's actually like somewhat ingrained in the Mario canon as opposed to like being off doing its own thing. Because I mean, Yoshi's Island again is still Super Mario World 2. That is the name, right?
Going back to it, like what you were saying with how the next Mario and stuff probably won't be similar to this, and how this game will probably adapt to what the future DK games will be like.
Sure.
I feel like it was like the perfect recipe for this outcome right now, because like this was an opportunity for the devs to hone their craft on what they couldn't accomplish with Odyssey, and then build on top with the DK franchise and expand like more within that realm, like the type of gameplay, the type of environment. Maybe they can keep doing like they could have like a Galaxy 2 type thing with this, where they can expand more of Pauline's stuff in it and the Void characters.
Oh yeah, that's something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, because there's still no K Rool.
They introduced new Kongs, which is huge, and something interesting I've been like thinking about a lot is that there's Grumpy Kong and Poppy Kong, and they all follow naming conventions, and then there's Void Kong, which
Mhm.
doesn't follow the naming convention at all, which makes me
Mhm.
think it might not be his name or
I mean, yeah, I've seen a lot of speculation of
stuff like
stuff
that.
on Twitter.
I kind of like the idea. I've seen people throw out the idea that Void Kong's actually K. Rool in his like
I think it would
Bonanza
be a little
form,
ridiculous.
but it
I
would be
agree.
awesome. It'd be
There's
ridiculous, but
also-
I think it would be funny.
There's also
go
the
ahead.
fact that a lot of the enemies, like you have those like big kind of I think they were kind of stone enemies, but underneath they had
croc
like these
things.
golden croc skeletons. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't
yep.
think K. Rool's in. I really don't.
I fully
I
believe
think-
K. Rool's in this.
I
I
think there's
actually think that would be a
crocodile
fun
imagery and
moment. I think this would be a fun opportunity because we're all here and we're all going to be in Japan to take like a small stake bet. Maybe not necessarily like stakes, but
No. Here, how about this? Me
Yeah.
and you, Roger, or
Okay.
whoever comes with us to Golden Guy.
yeah. Oh, there you go.
Banana bet.
Okay, all right, I'm here.
A banana. Hey,
Wow.
what?
Hello?
If
I
K.
don't know,
Rool,
my
It's the Odyssey music.
Dude, my phone just suddenly started playing music.
Started playing Odyssey music. I was like, what the heck?
whoever bets on K. Rool and being in or not being in, whatever the winner is,
Okay.
they are owed drinks.
That's
Golden
fine.
Guy.
I'll totally do that. That's fun. I'm down. Let's do it. So I'm team K. Rool is definitely in this game in some capacity.
I'm
Only the reason why is because the Easter eggs and the attention to detail and the love of the rest of the history of Donkey Kong is like clearly apparent here. And the golden crocodile thing, the Journey to the West vibes, the whole thing with the bloodshot eye with Void Kong. But
His
there's like a
teeth,
lot of
people are
things.
pointing out his teeth.
Yeah, there's just a lot of stuff to me that screams, especially because Nintendo knows this after the response to K. Rool being in Smash Brothers, right? Like they're aware that that character has a huge fan base, and I think they want to maybe take the opportunity not to like showcase him in the beginning of the game or maybe make him like a surprise villain or something, to reinvent him, right? Because K. Rool has been for so long this joke of like, when is Nintendo going to bring him back? I don't know. And I almost feel like by having him somewhat removed from the majority of this game, it allows them to then not only surprise people if he is in there, but to reinvent him in some way that nobody's even expecting. And I think the Bananium like transform in a different animal thing, where you get DK as like a zebra and then you get DK as like an ostrich. Had that not been in there, I wouldn't have felt as strongly, but I do think somehow, some way, K. Rool is in this, or like some skeleton of K. Rool or something. But there will be a K. Rool reference, guaranteed.
There's like a mountain or like there's like a piece of an environment that's literally like shaped.
K.
like
Rool's
his
face.
head.
I think that's just cope. I think that's cope.
It is.
Honestly,
I agree.
but-
I think that one is, because I know exactly the screenshot you're talking about, where it was the map view of the opening level,
Yeah.
right? And it was like the yellow and the green, and then it was from the side. Yeah.
See, I'm under the assumption that they will want to expand more on this, and they will have him appear in like the ending credits or something like a.
But that still counts. That's my thing. That still counts if he's in the game. Yeah, for sure. Of course it does. Yeah. That's why I'm making it. No. If he's in the game in any capacity.
In any capacity.
Any capacity.
So if I dig up a fossil that says King K. Rool's dead and will never be in a Donkey Kong game.
Yes, that counts. Yes. That's
enough.
absolutely. Yes. If they literally, I mean, legitimately, if they have a fossil that comes out of the ground,
R and OOL are anywhere in the game. Okay, all right, I get it.
There's even a line like in Pauline's song in the beginning of the direct where she said something about like the world being so cruel and like making a new world. There's just like there's a lot of stuff going. Also the lore.
Oh, you already know.
No. But there's
no. There's some weird stuff in favor of K. Rool, like the fact that
there
like
is.
we know Grumpy Kong is responsible for making all of the like bad guys you fight. But why is Monkey Gang making
crocodile
exclusively
enemies,
crocodile
right?
Necromancy enemies,
right?
How often has
and there's
K.
just
Rool
a whole
been
bunch
in
of weird
DK games? Is he like a reoccurring?
He used to be his Bowser, and then
right. He was every Donkey Kong Country. He was the main villain. DK64. He was the main villain, and then they didn't make one for a long time. But then they still put him in spin-offs. He was in like Mario Baseball on GameCube and Wii and stuff. And then all of a sudden one day they made Jungle Beat, and that used other Kongs as the bad guys. And there wasn't really a place for him. And then the retro games didn't use him at all.
Maybe he's maybe he's not Void Kong, but maybe he manages. If he's in, maybe he manages the whole company.
Right.
but I don't. I think they're trying. I don't know, dude. It's hard to say because it seems like they want to move away from him. But
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna have a front-facing position in the game. Like, I think the highlight will be on Void Kong.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. For the majority of the game, I think it will be.
I think they might just want Donkey Kong to fight Kongs, but then the golden crocodiles are weird. So
but that's why. Were you the one who brought up the idea of like a super boss or something? Because I think that actually could work.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be the stereotype where the little small guy turned into a big like berserk ape, and that's the final boss.
That'd be
it's
sick.
Gonna be like Arkham. Was it Arkham City where Joker?
Yeah, like you're probably gonna climb him.
Yeah.
Climb on him.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Can I talk shit now? Because I have a completely different.
Oh, do you not like it? Please go ahead.
I just don't think that Donkey Kong's like that. I just don't. I think people try to make Donkey Kong a main character when he's literally like the worst main Nintendo character. Like he's like,
what?
Yeah, like
the worst.
Okay, out of all the main Nintendo characters, he's the least like he's got the least like sauce clout. Like he's got the
least clout. He's fucking Donkey Kong. What are you talking about?
The words that are coming out of your
mouth. What do you mean? He's got the least clout.
A little bit, bro.
Okay.
I don't even know if you can.
Are you high?
All right. Okay.
Clout is crazy.
It's because he gets one game.
I'll take the other thing.
He gets one game a decade. That's why.
Yeah,
doesn't matter. He's Donkey Kong.
Oh, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
he's still relevant.
That's not what I'm saying. Can y'all shut the fuck up, man?
Oh yeah, okay.
I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with what any of you guys said about Donkey Kong. I'm saying Donkey Kong is just not forefront as far as his own games go. He's always somewhere. He just don't got a game out all the time like that. They take a long time for Donkey Kong games.
But you're trying to say, Tito, you're saying like in terms of the main Nintendo protagonists.
Link, Mario, Luigi, Kirby.
Donkey Kong was arguably more popular than Link for a good bit.
For a long while, yeah. I was gonna say Zelda became as popular as it was with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Those games traditionally did not sell. Ocarina was huge, but prior to that,
cared actually about Link.
Like the Super Nintendo era had Link to the Past, and it was great,
obviously. But then you see him in 3D. It's much more.
Ocarina was 1998.
Bro, so like. You know, like do you see? Like do you? What I'm saying is, out of all, if we're talking, I'm talking mainline. Obviously, he's more fucking popular than goddamn Olimar. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
sure.
But like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying out of all he is a side character in everything that he's in. like he is DLC the character. You don't. That's not me being hating. That is literally what happens. Because like, if you look even in the crossover games, like the Rabbids games, he's not in it. He's DLC.
Right, but the country games, I mean, were like the staple of Super Nintendo. That was a huge deal. DK64 at the time was like
when.
I know, but I'm saying Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64. I think recently, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Recent, Roger. Look, we're talking.
Just saying, Donkey Kong games are just not as relevant as other games nowadays. That's
right, and I understand that. I get that.
Over the last 10 years, Roger. Like 10.
But I would say of
a long time.
Well, I guess.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Is Donkey Kong more popular or have more motion than Kirby?
No.
Okay. No. Does he have more? Okay, Mario. Obviously,
no, of course not.
Luigi.
No. Debatable, I think.
Luigi's had
Donkey
2 to
Kong,
3
got
games.
no year,
He's got Luigi's Mansion. That's true. He doesn't have a year. That's true. All right, continue. Go ahead.
Okay. So then you're getting Link/Zelda.
Sure. Samus, I would say he's got more than Samus.
I think they're equal. You can't if he's.
They're not equal. Samus, I mean, that's like objectively incorrect. They're not equal. Samus literally. I was gonna say there's a Donkey Kong theme park. Like there's no Brinstar that you can.
Very marketable piece of character. I'm not saying that Donkey Kong is trash. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I know. But I mean, in terms of recognizability. Like he's a pretty huge character. I would argue that
contender for best Super Nintendo game of all time.
Yeah, of all time. But again, even removing that from it, because I do understand where Tito's coming from. I'm not like trying to be like I'm not I get where you're coming from.
I'm saying that out of all
I know.
Internally when they're doing a lot of like when it comes at the end of the day, these are video game characters, and how the company prioritizes them is they make video games about these characters. And you know
of
who,
course.
out of all the characters I named, who has the least games in the last 10 to 15?
Donkey Kong. Yeah, for sure.
Incorrect.
And that's true.
That's incorrect.
Yeah, that is wrong.
Donkey Kong had Tropical Freeze. Donkey Kong had Donkey Kong Country Returns. Donkey Kong had what else was it?
All those minis games too.
Yeah, Mario versus Donkey Kong, if you count that.
I don't.
What did Metroid had? Fucking.
I didn't say Metroid. I'm talking. I'm not. I said Metroid. Sure.
That's still under the realm of main Nintendo headliners. Like you can't be nitpicky like that.
I'm not. No, I'm not being nitpicky. I'm saying he's at the bottom. I would put them at the same tier.
I don't agree with that.
Well, okay, but regardless of that, I'm curious. Did you like his redesign then? Like, how do you feel about the new game?
Impression of Bonanza.
I said that to say because I was talking because I heard Coast, like he was saying that's kind of like Mario Odyssey 1.5, which I think is objectively a good thing, and talking about how Donkey Kong is working on his identity and things like that. You know, like
hasn't Donkey Kong had more games come out than Mario recently? Like,
no. I don't think that's.
I'm talking about first Mario.
First party, yes. First party, yes.
Not first party, but like like a Mario game, not fucking Mario Kart or Mario.
I know, yeah, I know what you mean, and yes,
because Mario Odyssey hasn't that's been almost a decade.
2008.
Yeah. Odyssey
2008.
2008.
Yes, I'm looking at it now. I'm only looking at it now because the next thing I was going to talk about after we're done with this is we're gonna guess what the speed run's going to be.
I don't know.
Oh, the speedrun text for this are going to be insane.
I'm looking at it on speedrun.com right now. It says
where did 2008?
Oh, we're taking our bets.
I'm looking at it right now. Unless this is wrong.
What just happened? 2008 is like the year after Galaxy came out.
That came when Brawl came out. Odyssey came out in 2017.
This is wrong. Then this is wrong. This is 2017. 10/26/2017 is what is here. Does that sound more correct to you?
Yeah, that definitely is. Yeah, it was definitely 2017 because it was launch year.
Okay, so then I don't know why this date is here, but regardless.
So you're looking at speed runs for Odyssey and guessing how long it's going to take for.
Yes, because I did this with the other game. But regardless.
You made all that point to just say you agree with me?
No, I'm saying that you're talking about him needing an identity and him needing all these things. When I'm saying that I don't think Donkey Kong has an identity to begin with.
Yeah, that's what I was implying.
So okay. So that's why I was going to ask you, is it like his whole his identity is being a big monkey gorilla guy who's strong. That's his whole thing.
And likes bananas, yeah.
And he wears a tie. You're not even paying attention to the motif.
No, he's very no. Like jokes aside, he's a very surface level character.
Like, sure, of course.
To be fair, most Nintendo characters are like, aside from a few. You can argue it, like.
I mean, of the main ones, I think most of them, if not all of them, that I have had over because they've gotten dedicated games, have developed very distinct personalities. Like Luigi has a lot of personality. Like at this point, like he has a definitive.
What's Mario's personality?
At this point, he's like
you're everyman.
He's just
the everyman. Yeah.
He fucking loves the white girls.
Yeah,
Mario's the everyman. Luigi's a scaredy cat. Link's courageous.
Kirby just has like insane lore that you got to watch like a 3-hour YouTube video for.
Yeah, Kirby.
Yeah, you have to have a Kirby lore, and he's a black hole.
And Link and Zelda is like a stereotypical fantasy realm. Like I like Donkey Kong. I will agree, very surface level, and that's why I'm hoping with this Bonanza game that he does get at least some sort of redesign in terms of personality, motivation, stuff like that.
I want to make sure I understand because you said the Mario Odyssey 1.5 thing I interpreted your delivery of that as a knock.
No, that was an observation where I was like,
in terms of excitement for new ideas, I got what you meant. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think all of us are in unanimous agreement that it being like an Odyssey 1.5 is a good thing.
Best thing that could
that's one of the best things that could have happened.
I think that what I saw, I really like Donkey Kong's new design because it's actually a design. I low-key have always hated Donkey Kong's design because it felt super lazy. Like, it's just big monkey with tie, and sometimes he doesn't even have the tie. But like with the whole him transforming and like in my brain, I go, his Smash moveset's gonna be insane.
Oh, he's gonna be
like,
insane.
like that's the kind of like new Mario after Odyssey. Mario's moveset is got to be bonkers. Like, you know what I mean? Like
we say this every time, and then it's not. So,
but it was
I do feel I was gonna say, I think now in particular with this though, like as a very brief side tangent, not only is Donkey Kong's moveset definitely gonna be totally redone for the next Smash, but like Pauline is a lock. It most lock of locks for if you're asking like one character they're gonna add to the next Smash game that's first party, it's Pauline. Guaranteed.
Do you guys
full
wanna,
lock.
Do you guys wanna you guys they actually had another like it was like an Easter egg announcement. Did you guys catch that in this game or in this trailer? Did you guys catch that?
Easter egg announcement. What do you mean?
Yeah, like they announced the Mario Kart DLC. Because they're gonna put Baby Pauline in the Mario Kart game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course.
Like
There's also definitely going to be costumes for DK.
I need more Pauline and DK.
It was a very deliberate decision in Wilds to only give
only have one. Exactly. Exactly.
Really quick to touch back on the identity topic. Just when I was watching the trailer, when I was thinking about like all that stuff, they showed the section. I thought it was so ironic. They showed a section where they bring back like Donkey Kong Country Return segments, where it's the 2D scroller, and I'm like, bro, of course they have to add that back in.
Oh, of course.
Well, I like DK. I hate him in Smash because I think he's like really, like his moveset's kind of weird and I don't like it. But regardless, as a concept, I just thought he felt very lazy to me as a character, and I'm very excited the fact that they are clearly putting effort across all of their first, like Roger, I think you had mentioned it, like especially with things like the move, like they're trying to add actual character and personality to all of their first, like all their top tier IPs, and I think nobody needed it more than DK.
Yeah, I agree.
Nobody. It's not close.
Other than Pauline.
Nigga, you ain't funny.
I fucking left the call by accident.
Nigga, you ain't
bongos.
funny.
Shout out Pokemon. I clicked out of the call by accident.
What was the Pokemon thing? Why did you play that?
You know he didn't. That's his joint sound because he's his
joint.
Oh, it's your joint. Oh, it's your joint
That's
sound.
why.
Okay. Anyway, please continue.
I don't remember what I was saying.
No.
You were saying like that kind of energy. Okay.
In regards to Pauline and
it just
all right, so we still have to hear from Ricky. We still got to hear from Viram. Like, what do you two think of this?
My question is this: it's pretty simple. Are people going to be put off by the fact that it's an Odyssey, like it's an Odyssey 1.5 or 2 or whatever?
I don't think so.
Essentially,
like, DK has needed this. Like literally, like if you were a fan or enjoyed Donkey Kong 64, they have not made a game like that for DK since the N64. So he's finally getting another.
Yeah, but that's the outlier of DK games. So yeah, that's just for like a small subset of DK fans.
Yeah,
yeah, which I understand, but it's nice that
we're
getting something like that again instead of we're just doing Donkey Kong Country.
If anything, Ricky, it should sell units. That fact.
Oh, it definitely will. Yeah, this is going to sell very well.
I thought the appeal of DK is that it's like kind of difficult. Wasn't Odyssey kind of like a little bit more relaxed? Galaxy and everything else?
I still think
hard.
Yeah, Donkey Kong is known for being hard.
And the thing with this as well, if you want to make it difficult, they give you the leveling up things. You don't have to do levels if you don't want to.
If you don't want to do the skills, if you want to just go on your own and
unless
not
some
use
of
your
them are
Bananium gems or
required.
something.
There's going to be some
like
bullshit required.
Yeah.
Sure.
But that surfing one.
But like upgrading your health and stuff, you don't got to upgrade your health.
I also feel like a thing that a lot of people aren't really talking about is like, obviously at the time, DK64 super ambitious. You have all these multiple playable characters, like really great level design, good music, like all this other stuff. But like over time, because I do think it's odd they still haven't re-released that on like N64 NSO or anything. I do feel like DK64 was the culmination of like that collectathon type of 3D platformer from like the 90s, where there was like so much stuff to collect and so many characters that it was almost like overwhelming to a point. And I feel like making this be an Odyssey 1.5 type thing with the snappiness of that game is exactly the kind of energy that like needed to be infused in like a Donkey Kong 3D platformer. Because I think while those of us that are in this call, right, like we're all big Nintendo fans, but like we would have been excited for them like to make a DK64 2 type thing. I do think for the general public and like going to what Tito was saying in terms of like moving units, I do think this one is probably going to sell very well. And I think it's worth noting that like I've seen a lot of people over the course of the last like week since this direct has happened who never talk about Donkey Kong that are making videos about like how excited they are for this and how different that this looks.
Because they spent $700 on a console with one game. That's why
But
they're excited.
But I also feel like they did a really good job with this direct in particular. Like if you compare this to the Mario Kart one, that Mario Kart one was so bad, right? That Mario Kart World one, like we've all obviously been playing Mario Kart World and are enjoying Mario Kart World, but I don't think that direct really sold people on what makes that game good. In fact, I think it turned off a lot of people because it was like, oh, anyway, here's the open world and like here's a P switch and you can hit this, but like that's pretty much all you can do.
The fact that it made no mention of that game's soundtrack is insane.
Is insane. When the soundtrack of that game is like one of the best of the entire year. Amazing remixes of the entire canon of the Mario games. Yeah, it isn't touched on at all. Exactly. Even like some of the NPC characters and things like the not really focusing on how many cool things are there and unlockable and Easter eggs. Like I think that turned off people from it, especially when you pair that with like the price announcement. Whereas this one just kind of like ticked every box, right? Because it's a big single player game that people wanted, just like Zeph was talking about. It's a lot more marketable than some of the other Donkey Kong games, like Tito was talking about. It's giving people that like experience that's not $80, right? Because the whole thing with this game is $70. This is $69.99, just like a lot of the other Nintendo games. This is not an $80 game. Well, yeah, I guess, yeah, if you're in Canada.
Yeah, but your currency's fake.
Yeah, sure. But it does smell good. Maple syrup. But realistically, I feel like it's just checking a lot of things for people that were looking for something to be upset about that are not like, oh, actually, this feels like the Nintendo I know and love, and I'm excited for it. And it's like active. I can't even tell you the amount of people that were like in my comment section saying, you know, I thought you were full of it with Switch 2. I was watching your streams and like I like your energy, but like I wasn't planning on buying one. I'm watching this direct and now I want it, you know. So I do think this is going to sell a lot of people. Oh, easily. I mean, it is. If you look at the isn't this like one of the most positively like let me look at it real quick. What's the like ratio on this? It's like super high for being a Nintendo thing. Yeah,
124K to 2.9K.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that's
we need that barometer of like, you know, when movie trailers come out where they're like, it already has a 99% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Right. Well, the equivalent I know that people brought up was like the Mario Kart one again, and you put that in perspective, not only like the like ratio, but in terms of views, the Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct in 5 days has gotten 0.4 million more views than the Mario Kart World Direct that's been out since April.
Wow.
So again, people are stoked for this. And Mario Kart World obviously sold incredibly well. So
I think a big reason for that is when it comes to a game like this, the Donkey Kong game, there were a lot of questions that people had, particularly in terms of like what kind of game it was going to be. You know, like there were questions with regards to the little rock character and how it linked to Topolin, and then obviously we got the answers to that in this direct. And I think that was a huge advantage of this direct in general. It gave us in that relatively short, like just under 18 minutes, it gave us pretty much everything that we could want to know about this game going up to release. But there's still a degree of intrigue. You know, we still haven't seen like a ton of the levels. There's still going to be plenty to explore and discover. And my big thing with this game is that you guys before were mentioning about how Donkey Kong is difficult, but I think this game at most levels is not going to be that difficult. I think it's just going to be more about freedom and power. I think it's going to be about, you know, Donkey Kong is going to
be a big thing.
Exactly. Donkey Kong's going to feel like a very flexible, versatile character. He's going to be able to do all sorts of things, get to all sorts of places, and you know, making use of all of those different techniques is just going to help different players just kind of find their own way to play. And I think that is what they're trying to sell people with.
Well, Viram, as someone who, I do want to do this real quick because it will be quick. I know you love speedruns. I love speedruns. I know a lot of us love speedruns.
Oh yeah.
Let me just give you, because I think we all agree this speedrun game, this will be the speedrun game of GDQ this year, for sure. Like, so this will be.
When is GDQ again?
It should be at the end of the year, right?
There's the summer one, and then the summer one in the middle of the year, and then there's the winter one at the start of the next year.
Yeah,
GDQ starts in a week.
Starts in a week. Okay, so.
So yeah, the next big one that happens after
GDQ, which will be at the top of the year.
Right. This is going to be like the headliner.
This will be the headliner game. So let me give you some context. Because obviously the biggest analog would be to Mario Kart, or sorry, excuse me, to Mario Odyssey.
Sure.
I'm going to take the date 1 month post release. So like I said, the Super Mario Odyssey released on 10/26/2017. The 80%, which I think is obviously going to be the most popular run, and obviously the one that I think is just going to be the average. I will use 10/11/2017, which is a month later. Someone set a shout out to Nita S, set the world record at that time for any percent for Mario Odyssey of 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 39 seconds for any percent. So 1 month from the release, based on what we've seen, Price is Right rules. I will give up this race and write these down. So that way people.
Okay.
You're gonna document this.
I will document this. We will go in Discord order. That is the reference for Mario Odyssey. Chat.
1 hour and 7, you said?
1 hour, 7 minutes, and 39 seconds. A month from release was the world.
Any percent. Got it.
Any percent specifically.
How long is the game supposed to be normally?
We don't know.
Let's look. If you
Odyssey. The thing is, Odyssey is a much more collectathon style game than the previous Mario games. So,
I mean,
a casual playthrough will take long.
Even then, like that's something I wanted to bring up. I think like you're talking about, they wouldn't really do DK64 too. I think this is them taking a stab at that because like even the design of some of the NPCs have like the rare googly eyes. They went through the amount of like, look at all the stuff you can collect. One of those worlds had like 96 banana gems on a single.
Yeah, right.
The core, like that's just what 3D platformers do. The core, like the DNA of DK64 is changing Kongs. So I don't think it's that at all.
Well, no, but I just more mean like the spirit
in terms
of like the collectathon era.
Yeah.
More 3D Mario isn't as much that. It's like you're getting stars, but it's not like you have a ton of other stuff too, you know?
It's really, recently it's like either stickers or different types of coins.
Yeah.
Like you can tell the volume of things you would need to collect from what we saw in Bonanza is a lot.
With Odyssey though, there was a lot of that, right? That was the whole thing with Odyssey is you can get moons from anywhere.
The average how long to beat gets you an average of what people are reporting. To complete the main story of Super Mario Odyssey, the average person takes 12.5 hours.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Which is about
10 to 12 hours.
The game is not long.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense to me.
Which makes sense. So
I'm just looking at the contrast between that and the speed run.
That's about right because the speed run in Mario Odyssey, because you don't have to get every star, you just have to get enough stars to get to the next world. So you know what stars are the fastest stars. So if you cut out all the bullshit stars, so if you just cut out if you're because I think the speed run now for the world record gets on average like a star every like 30 seconds. Like it's crazy because they'll like stockpile stars and whatever they're up, whatever. So
buy a bunch of them.
Are we thinking that that's going to be the structure of this DK game, where it's like collect banana gems to get to the next world? Okay.
You probably need a certain amount to continue. That's normally
how there's like bananium gems, and then there's like the fossils and the gold and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I do imagine you have to have a certain amount.
Like it's made by the same team. I expect the same structure. So Discord order. Again, Mario Kart.
McDareth,
McDareth. Again, just for your reference, if that matters to you, it was 1 hour, 7 minutes, 39 seconds, 1 month post Mario Odyssey. The any percent world record 1 month post launch of of Donkey Kong Bonanza will be
2 hours and 30 minutes.
2.5 hours, says McDareth. Coast.
See, I'm thinking there's two factors that really matter what my time is going to be.
I think you and I are on the same page here.
If there's skippable cutscenes,
yeah,
and if there's not like railroading for like the first 3 hours of the game, and you can just fucking go crazy, just break right into like where you need to go, like just beeline it.
I can actually answer that for you. I can literally answer that for you because I've played the beginning of this game.
Yeah, give me the
So
info.
basically, the game as it opened in the demo that you see in the trailer, where you see like Donkey Kong busting through, and then he's like in the miner outfit, and you're running through the mines. That entire section was like the intro of the 20-minute demo that was at the Switch 2 experience. You're out of that mine area. Once you know like where you're going, you're out of that mine area in literally like 5 minutes. You're in and out of there very quick.
It's the Hat World. It's
Very
literally
much
the Hat
so.
World.
Yeah. Where you go in there, you can explore, you can get a bunch of gold, you can get some bananium gems, whatever. But there's like one little pad that you have to stand on to get to the first like layer of the earth. And once you get there, that's when that first level opens up. The one that like you guys have seen the video of with like where the map looks like it's K. Rool's face, right? Where it's like the plains looking area with the water and Cranky Kong and all of that. And that area has tons of bananas, tons of stuff to explore. But in playing the demo, essentially the demo would end once you drained the water from that floating island, which I'm assuming gets you to the next layer. Or the next layer of the earth. If you know how to get there, which I did by the time I was done playing the demo like 3 times, you can get from the area when you enter into that world to the end of the puzzle to drain that floating island in literally 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's the Hat World.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same team. I'm literally expecting you to be able to one-to-one map the format of the game. But I'm not saying that as a negative, because Super Mario
well, you bring
Odyssey
that
is
up. You bring that up. This is something that I put in the podcast chat. This comes from some of you guys might know the Super Mario Broth. This is a very popular Mario blog that posts all kind of just weird facts about Mario. And essentially, they said using geometrical analysis of the world map from the Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct, it appears that the maximum amount of levels the game will have is 18. Compared to the 17 locations within Super Mario Odyssey. And then he basically gives a map of like the 3 layers of each of the layers of the earth
minutes.
before you get to the
It
core.
says
So
2 hours and 15 minutes.
okay.
I am going to go, I guess. I am going to say I trust the internet. We're doing Price is Right rules. 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Wow.
Because I am betting that, and I'm also doing a double bet. That's not really it. I am betting that it will be a top Mario Odyssey speedrunner. I think
that's gonna do it first.
Because I think if you look at the movement, it's very similar. Very similar movement. You're gonna be like moving and dashing and rolling continuously using momentum. Like I think it'll be an Odyssey runner. Ricky.
I'm thinking Switch 2 is more powerful, so you're not going to get any exploits or glitching. So I don't think they're going to have.
There's not that many glitches in Mario. Actually, in Mario Odyssey, there's actually not that many.
It's actually solidly made.
There's actually two, there's only 2. There's like 2 famous like wall clips, and I think one of them got patched out.
Can I change my answer?
Sure.
One out. 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
No, just 40 minutes.
Whoa. Okay. Wow.
Wow, that's okay. Since you can go anywhere, you can dig into anything, 35 minutes.
Okay. All right.
You only said that because he said 40.
Yeah, he did.
I'm playing the Price is Right, bro.
We are playing the Price is Right. Roger's Base.
Yeah. I'm going with 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 29 seconds.
All right.
Because I think it's going to be sub 120. But I don't see it.
I'm going to say if you're within a minute, you get it. That's by the way.
Oh, cool. So, yeah. So 1 hour, 19 minutes is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I change my answer again?
Yes.
36 minutes.
35 minutes and 1 second.
Okay. Right. Shofu.
I'm gonna say like an hour and a half, big dog.
I think it's gonna be around there, so I agree. Virum.
1 hour and 42 minutes.
1 hour.
Change my answer to 1
42.
hour and 43 minutes, bro.
All right, I got you. 1 hour, 43 minutes. All right, and then finally Zeph.
Hour 10 minutes.
1 hour and 10 minutes.
I just heard 10 minutes. I was like, wait, what?
10 minutes would be insane.
All right, there it is. We will see who is right. Yeah. All right.
Wait,
cool.
I was joking, bro. Put my shit back to an hour and a half, man.
Okay.
Man, McDarrett, do you think it's going to be 2.5 hours?
I think it could be
For an any percent?
if they have to map out everything and it's in a month and they have, I think there could be certain objectives where you need a certain amount, and the amounts you need, like if they're going full collectathon, the amounts you need might just be higher because like the total amount of stuff in this game can be more.
I think it's also very dependent on the restrictions that are placed on you. Like if you can't skip cutscenes, if you're locked on a certain path. Time.
Or yeah, if a certain skill, if you need like one of the bonanza skills or something to get to a certain area.
The advantage of Odyssey is that literally everything you get at the beginning. So
yeah.
you don't need to unlock anything because there's powers in this game. But I think the thing for me that's going to determine is, do you have to get them in the same order? Like, are all the powers in this game sequential? Like, can I get the fly power first and the swim power second? Like, you know what I mean? Like, because that will matter for the routing. Because these kind of like not half-ass, but I mean like half open world, but kind of not games. The routing is what matters.
So that's the other thing, going back to something else I was talking about with like in that demo when you not flood the island, but like you're draining the island of the water and you go down to that second layer. The demo ended right at that point, but my assumption based on what we saw in the trailer and like how they said, you keep digging deeper and you're not going to know what's going to happen next. I do think like the levels are going to be semi-open environments, right? Like we've seen this stuff with the mine carts. We know there's bonus levels, whatever. Yeah, it's open zones. But I think the way in which the game plays, I don't think you're going to be like going back and forth between different layers regularly. I think you're going to go down to the next layer and like continue from there for the most part. Like I think there'll be an option to be able to go back. Yeah. But I don't think I think you're going to be continuously moving your way like through the core of the earth, if that makes sense. Like I think it's going to be a more linear path of growth versus something like an Odyssey where you're hopping back and forth between kingdoms pretty frequently.
Does anybody, while we're on the topic, because we're about to switch, obviously, I think, does anyone want to guess what the 100% run for
Super Mario that's going to be like fucking...
That's going to be like 7 hours.
No,
like,
way more.
Way more for that than for this, because you have to dig every single area.
Not for this. Does anyone just want to guess what the 100% run for Odyssey is right now?
For Odyssey, isn't
for
it
Odyssey?
Like 5 hours and something? Or wait, no, there's Dark Moon as well.
Like what the world record is right now. So
yeah, I'll say 5 hours and 19 minutes.
So right,
Odyssey also the grind coins to finish
it. For context, 100% is world peace is just getting the big thing in every level. So that's a little bit more like beating both world bosses on every world. Then you have Dark Side, which is X amount of moons. Then Darker Side is like 80% of the moons. All moons is obviously all moons, and then 100% is all moons, all special coins, all peace switches, and all costumes. Like it's literally collect everything because you can't collect all coins because all coins are generative. Like they just
of course.
So I'll give you a hint. It's over 6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours at the end of the game, you get the grind coins to get the very last
it's the coin grinding that's the longest part. It is 8 hours, 33 minutes, and 57 seconds.
Wow, man. And that's a speed run? That's 100% speed run?
That is 100%.
Oh my God.
There are still RPG any percents that are longer than that.
Yeah, but you know what the crazy part is that if you look at Darker Side, which is again like getting the secret level on the moon, which you need like, I think you need like 200 or 300 coins or moons or whatever. That is just under 3 hours. So there is a 5 hour difference between that and most of that is grinding coins.
Yeah,
that
like
sucks.
That was the part where I stopped with Odyssey because I was at the very end and it was just coin grind. It's like, okay, this is a bit much.
Yep. Anyway,
one thing I wanted to say before we move past it, the music in this trailer was very good.
Yes.
even
not just the
getting-
vocal themes, but like the actual
yeah, like the
remixes,
remixes
of, the
of
classic
Donkey Kong themes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we know the VA?
I think it was announced that Kate Higgins, who is the voice of Pauline in Odyssey, is also the voice of Pauline here, because Pauline, even though she's a kid, right? She's like 12 or 13 or something in this. She sounds like an adult in some of those sequences in the trailer. Like she sounds human. And one of the things, like, if I don't know if we're going to dive into lore at all in this, right? But one of the things that was brought up is that like Pauline is wearing what appears to be like a ripped dress and then like those long oversized jeans. And someone's wondering if like
and then got turned into a kid.
Yeah, and got turned into a kid. Yeah.
I saw people comparing it to Undertale, which is pretty funny.
Undertale? What part of
Someone
Undertale is it
falls down a hole and gets encountered.
Yeah, sure.
Animals or monsters.
Sure, okay.
That's funny as
I
fuck,
was like,
actually.
yeah. I am super excited for it though, and yeah, musically it sounds awesome. I mean, I said this even after I saw that first demo, is the quality of the music is I think the other big thing about it, because it's one thing to have like a good soundtrack, but to actually have like orchestrations, and for them to double down on the vocal theme after Odyssey did it, right, where you had like Jump Up Superstar and the one that plays on the moon and everything like that.
Breakthrough. I love Breakthrough,
right.
so I'm very happy to get more songs in that vein.
Yeah, and I like that they're doing it. And again, I think going back to what we were talking about earlier with like the identity of Donkey Kong and tying this into the overall Mario canon, I think it's smart. Like I like seeing the Kongs and these characters more like tied in with Mario's world than them being a separate franchise, if that makes sense. Like again, I wish they would make a Yoshi game like this, like what Zeph was talking about. Like I want more things like this, that for those spin-off type characters, they still feel like they're part of that core Mario universe, as opposed to being sort of like all over the place in their own sub franchises. So yeah, I can't wait for it.
We are, right? Like I don't want him to.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like
that's fine.
Yeah. Besides that one really poorly animated show, he just doesn't talk in it.
That's free to watch on YouTube right
nobody's hero.
Season 1 and 2 free to watch on YouTube.
The one where he sings?
That's right. Yeah, he sure does.
I love that.
I hope at some point though he does go okay.
Yeah, that something like that would be fine.
Yeah. But no more than
like the
that.
final line of the game or something.
Yeah, right.
That's literally like the Yahoo for Mario. So
yeah, right.
I guess technically the banana. I mean, it's said, but it's not like implied that he's saying it. But like, I don't know. In 64, I always thought he was just saying that.
In 64,
I did
it's
too.
definitely him.
Yeah, he would say, "Oh,
it's not him in this. It's just some announcer."
Yeah.
I know we were talking about making the K Rool bet earlier. How much do you guys think we're going to see New Donk City at all?
No.
Like the founding of New Donk City or something. New Donk City.
I could see that as like the end credits. I could see that.
Yeah, bro. And then we play then we play Mario Legends New Donk.
Oh no! Like
we have to remake.
There's possibility for that because like one of the like challenge levels is literally like one of them is set up to be DK64. No, sorry, not 64. Sorry, the original Donkey Kong arcade with like the barrels. Another one is a Wrecking Crew reference, so,
which
like,
was awesome. Yeah.
So like they definitely could do something New Donk related.
I will say, you brought that up with the barrels and everything. I feel like there's a strong chance that if K. Rool isn't in this, right, and the Void Kong transforms into something else, that we could maybe see the final boss be a reverse play on the Donkey Kong arcade game, where like he turns into Mario or something like that, like they Bonanza power into like a human, and then you got like Jumpman trying to steal Pauline from Donkey Kong, and Donkey Kong's got to like stop him, which would be, I think, be really cool if they were going to do that.
That sounds horrible.
Why would that be horrible? That's the original Donkey Kong.
What if it's the ending? Donkey Kong and Pauline are able to get back to the surface, but when they make it there, they like open up a manhole from below and they crawl out, and it's New Donk City, and it's just all crocodile zombies.
That'd be awesome. That's badass.
Yeah, they come out of a hole in the ground and they end up in a mall, and Frank West is there and they have to get out of the mall before the chocolate shows up.
Dude, crocodile zombies would be crazy though, because then that would imply if Donkey Kong and Pauline climbed out of the manhole of New Donk City while it was controlled by crocodile zombies, at some point in between them walking out of that manhole and Mario getting there in Mario Odyssey, they have to have exterminated every single crocodile that lived in that city.
Yeah, that brings us Luigi's Mansion 4, where it's a whole city and it's open world. He has to get rid of
Yeah,
the
right.
zombies.
Right, the zombie crocs.
And he shook the whole time.
But overall, we're all agreeing the game looks great. Can't wait to play it.
I think it's Game of the Year contender, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Ain't even
Definitely.
Plays.
Potential. Potential.
What else do you think?
Ain't even moved around or nothing, bro.
I don't think you really have to with the 3D Nintendo platformer, considering they've been carrying the genre by themselves for the past 25 years. I don't know.
Well, but Zeph,
pretty safe bet.
You said
CP.
Wait. I need to clarify, Zeph, because I see this on Twitter all the time, and I think it's a grave mistake that you're making. You know, Nintendo is not the only company making 3D platformers that win Game of the Year. Of course, Sony just made Astrobot, which is better than every Mario game ever made. And I just need you to understand that, like, Sony can also make a Mario game. It's not just Nintendo
do it
that
without
can make a 3D
making it look like
platformer.
Mario 3D World. That would be sick.
I mean, Astrobot is really good.
It is really good. No, I know. It is just so funny whenever I see people being like, it's so original and Nintendo wishes it could be this. I'm like, it's literally using power-ups from Galaxy. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong, but it literally they did in there. Yeah, I was like in their Game of the Year speech, they were straight up like thanking Mario. So I feel like they're pretty open about the fact that that's what inspired them, you know. Well, all right. Well, great. Well, that covers Donkey Kong Bonanza. We'll be playing it not by the next show, but by the next show, which is also crazy. 2 episodes away from talking about this game, having played it, which is pretty cool. But
what's the date on that?
That game, July 17th, right?
17th, okay.
So the next show will
I'm
be.
not gonna lie, fast. That question, I know it's a genuine question, but I got scared. It's like, is it a bait in some way? I like pause to think about it.
It did sound like he was trying to do something, right? Yeah.
Wait, what question?
No.
Normally, if Shofu asks,
coming out, bro.
yeah, but sometimes when you ask, hey, what was that again? It's like I have to pause and wait.
You have traumatized. I feel like I was gonna say you have been traumatized by Shofu's hits.
This is an understandable caution here. He has a reputation. I get it.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, the next show after this one is July 7th, which will be after Anime Expo, and then the next show after that one, which is the 21st, is going to be Donkey Kong Bonanza. So it'll be out, 2 shows from now, which is cool. Something that will not be out 2 shows from now, but I know McDareth's excited about, is Sonic Crossworlds. Yeah. And since Fidel is obviously streaming and he had his Discord hacked, what's going on with that game? Why is SpongeBob and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in it?
Why do you have that?
I'm pretty sure it's just because Paramount made the movies, so they just talked to Paramount and probably were looking around for other IPs to add because they can talk to Xbox and get
making half
Minecraft.
the DLC Nicktoons is fucking crazy.
So what is the point of that?
I personally think it's kind of
they don't have voices.
Cool. Yeah, that's the part that to me is kind of sad. The extra characters won't be voiced, but they're like, as the Sonic fan, all the Sonic characters are voiced. They showed off that all the Sonic characters with other Sonic characters, when you pick someone as a rival, both characters have unique back and forth for every single character. Main Sonic character in the game has unique back and forth that is all voiced with extra poses and scenes before a Grand Prix based on who you pick as a rival. Like, all that stuff is really cool. I wish the extra characters being added were voiced, but I do like they still went the extra issue with extra mile with all the Sonic characters instead of like, they're not voiced. We won't voice them that much either. So it's a compromise, I guess. I personally do wish they were voiced, but they aren't. So it is what it is. So funny enough, I've said this before, but growing up, I had way more SpongeBob stuff than Sonic. I've gotten more Sonic stuff pretty much recently, within like the past 6 to 7 years. Before that, I had just a shit ton of SpongeBob stuff. So to me, this is amazing to actually get SpongeBob in a Sonic game. I'm not going to play him because I like the Sonic characters more, but it's just cool that this is a thing that's happening. and I also like TMNT, and I also like Avatar. So I see some people like, oh, but it's it's a lot of Nick stuff, and I get it because they Paramount's making the Sonic movie, so it's very easy to just get Nickelodeon stuff from them. But to me, it's like, you know what, this is cool because I like these characters. so I'm very interested to see what they're gonna do with them. Because what? Yeah, go.
I just have this thing about like racing games a little bit with the
Mhm.
adding characters. Sometimes does it really mean a lot? It's just a cosmetic thing mostly, right?
Well, I mean, all different stats and stuff, and they
They
come
have
with a different
stats, yeah.
car, and the car has stats.
Okay, all right, then I'm off.
No, I mean it's a good question, but like they will have stats, so it can mean something. Like they have stats, they're going
like
to have
Mario
tracks
Kart.
for all of them. In this game, so I mean, leaks are true, obviously, at this point, but something that came out, and they pretty much, I think they've announced this at this point, that they're doing events as well. So like with Avatar, it was showing up in events where you're driving around a course and you get different avatar powers or whatever for that event that's going on when Aang comes out. We already know SpongeBob has Bikini Bottom. They'll probably do something for SpongeBob. There's supposedly supposed to be one for Knights. Like they're gonna have in-game events that will change how races happen, or you race for a team or something, or there's special powers or something tied to the collab thing going on. So like you're both getting the characters coming in, and they're gonna do something in game around those, or
Like
just rotating events in
celebrate
game.
it, or yeah. Okay, then that's cool.
And then all the Sega ones that were already announced, so like Miku, Ichiban, and Joker are all free. They're just coming later, but all those will just be free input in. And then the season pass is all these ones. Then there's also, because like they didn't show this at I'm gonna say Game Awards, Summer Games Fest, but when you actually look for, or when you went and watched the video for it again, because you just watched the scene in 4K, at the end it showed that a pre-order bonus is the Werehog, which Sonic's form from Unleashed, which literally they have not put that in a main Sonic game since Unleashed. It's been in like mobile games, but nothing, because like the racing games basically are considered main. And this is not going to be canon with all these other characters in it, probably, but they're considered main because even Team Sonic Racing is referenced by name in Frontiers. Not the name of the game, but the events that happen, and like the raccoon thing. I always forget his name, but the raccoon who like set it all up has been mentioned by Dr. Eggman in his notes by name. So like Team Sonic Racing happened before Frontiers, in essence. And I think probably this game, before all the DLC is added, when it's just the Sonic characters, if there is like a story that goes through this game, will end up being canon to the Sonic stuff. So they brought back the Werehog, and then the Sonic Prime characters. It's like Tails 9, edgy version of Tails, can't say more than that. Rusty Rose, if Amy got roboticized and was like a cyborg, and then Knuckles the Dread, Pirate Knuckles, are being added as well.
Knuckles the Dread? That's an actual character name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, never even heard of him.
Yeah, he's from Sonic Prime.
That's on Netflix, right?
Yep, it's a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks kind of cool, actually. I like Pirate Knuckles.
Yeah, the designs in Sonic Prime, besides Chaos Sonic, which is just Metal Sonic, they're all good. Chaos Sonic was just annoying. But Sonic Prime designs are good otherwise. So I'm excited. I mean, I get it. It is kind of out of left field for sure, but the Sonic racing games have done this. They put in, what was it? Banjo-Kazooie was in Sonic and All-Stars Racing. Yeah,
Banjo-Kazooie? What?
Yes, Sonic and All-Stars Racing on Xbox had Banjo-Kazooie.
They had the most
they had
ridiculous
Yazcast on Steam for Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform. You had Team Fortress 2 was a character on that.
Manager,
Sorry, hold on. Did you just say
Yogscast?
Yogscast? I know.
Yes,
Ghost
yeah.
and I both had the exact same.
Yes, Simon from Yazcast. Yes, he was in.
What in the world?
Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform. Yeah.
You had
the
Team Fortress 2 characters, you had the Football Manager, you had Wreck-It Ralph.
The Football Manager?
Yeah, Football Manager was added, yeah. Hell, Danica Patrick, the little human racer.
That I knew. I remember Danica Patrick and Wreck-It Ralph. I remember those two.
So like
Yogscast is actually crazy though, that they had Yogscast as a what was the point of putting Yogscast?
They were just really big then, so they probably just went and asked them. They said, yeah. So like Simon,
are they not big still?
Not as much, no.
Oh,
I mean,
Why'd they
that would
fall
be
off?
like now it would be like if they were to add Mr. Beast to it.
Yeah, probably like Mr. Beast, like
That's crazy, man.
a
Wow.
large YouTuber. Yeah,
Well, now I don't know.
yeah, they probably wouldn't do that now, but you know.
Yeah, maybe they wouldn't do Mr. Beast. Though, to be fair, Mr. Beast is in Monster Hunter. They literally have
That
him
was
in
like
Monster
kind
Hunter
of
now.
before everything.
I guess that's true. Pokemon.
Uh,
They use
some-
Pokemon.
I will
I
say,
think
like
we just
Mr.
shouldn't put
Beast
content creators in
genuinely-
anything.
I feel like he needs to genuinely kill someone to not be featured in something.
Because anytime you put a content creator in something, they end up doing something fucking insane, and then
Immediately, yeah. Then it ages the game poorly, and then there's no way
Just
around it.
don't
And they
do it.
gotta, because they put
Don't put
wasn't the
real
complete
people in game.
the completionist was in Sea of Stars, wasn't he? And then they had to catch him out of it.
Take him out, yeah.
Yep. Dang, that's crazy, man.
They could put Roger in something.
I don't want to be
Roger's
because
gonna do something.
No,
oh, so it's like
I was just gonna say Coast. I was gonna be like, they put me in Sonic
too
Racing
excited
All
to
Stars,
bring that up.
and then Coast is like, let me explain how the C4C logo got created. And it's like, it's done.
Yeah,
You're
he
done,
makes a
buddy.
whole video, but he's like crying while he does it.
Oh my god,
Oh
yeah,
my
it's not good.
gosh.
Not good. Oh man. Well, all right. So, anything else regarding Sonic, or could we be done with Sonic now?
I mean, I'm just excited. They've shown off cool stuff. I like, as a fan of the series, obviously, and if you haven't got that by now, you're new. As a fan of the series, I like that the characters are getting to, the Sonic characters specifically, are getting to express themselves more, interactions between them. They showed off more stages, and the characters, when they're on a stage that's from a game they're from or they've been to, they actually will have a little comment about, oh, I've been here, or they'll talk about something about the stage that they're on and all that. Like, I like all that, and so I'm very excited for this game.
Right on. Any other games get announced since the last show that you guys are excited about, that you want to talk about before we start getting into some speculation stuff? Because there's some things to speculate on.
Scott Pilgrim EX. Yes.
Oh, we already talked about that.
Yeah, we did on the.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
We did Summer Game Fest. Yeah, we
My
did
bad.
whole Summer
My
Game Fest. Yeah.
I forget.
There was all of the embargo reviews that dropped for Death Stranding 2.
Oh, Death Stranding 2. It's reviewing pretty
fucking
well. I
fire.
hear.
Very well.
It's
That's
looking
good.
great.
That's what I like to hear. You were a big fan of the original, weren't you?
I love Death Stranding, man.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not gonna be able to play it because I don't have my PS5 anymore. But I'm probably gonna just watch a bunch of.
Wait,
playthroughs.
isn't
Not
it
on
day
PC?
one on PC?
I don't think it's coming out on day one on PC.
I am pretty
Death
sure it is.
Stranding to Steam.
Is it not?
No, it's not.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just PS5.
Oh, weird.
It'll come
Okay.
to PC eventually. I know that.
It's probably
Yeah,
some
most
timed
definitely.
exclusive bullshit
Yeah.
from 5,000 years ago.
But yeah, it's honestly, I'm glazing. I'm glazing. It's looking really fucking good, man.
Well, I'll agree
And-
with you. Like, I don't like the game, like the series, but like the graphics are like by far better than anything else that's out. In
What
terms
I'm
of
liking
realism.
about the reviews too is like how much praise it's getting for like the things that they're adding. Like people are like, yeah, it's not a walking simulator anymore. They've expanded on their creativity and what you can do, and it's like a return to what Kojima did with Metal Gear Solid and stuff. I'm like,
Oh, if you
That sounds awesome.
if you could do MGS5 stuff to people in the overworld, I'll go crazy with that game.
I mean, you kind of can, but it's just not as
Like if I can Fulton people with
you can.
like really with Norman Reedus.
Yeah, you definitely can. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Can
yeah,
I slide into people with boxes.
no, that you can't. But maybe in DS2 you can. But
That'd be fun.
what like I like how well reviewed it's been so far with these pre-reviews or the embargo reviews, and then there was that like interview that dropped like just before all of that with Kojima where he's like, yeah, the playtesters are having too much fun with it and I didn't like that, so changes, which means like the game could have been even better than what it is right now. So
Speaking of interviews, real quick, just because that segue was too good to not grab. Since the last show, there was an interview that went kind of semi-viral that Sakurai did in regards to generative AI. And apparently he was quoted as saying that he thought that generative AI was an option to improve work efficiency for his upcoming games. That is actually not what he said in this article that went viral. What he was saying is that he was giving this interview and bemoaning the fact that he believes that's probably the direction that games are going, with, games becoming bigger and all these AAA titles, having these massive studios and things like that. It was not him promoting generative AI or saying he's going to make Kirby Air Riders or Smash with it or whatever, but it was actually that he was bemoaning that that's what things are most likely heading towards. So I know obviously we're a Smash podcast. Well, we started at least as one, and we love Sakurai. And so I felt like I had to go out there and make sure, people aren't smearing his name, that he's still cool. He's still cool.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't, as if you're a news company and you can't read the language something was posted in, don't make fucking articles about it.
Don't make news articles about it. Yeah.
Mm.
Did you guys see, this is totally random, by the way, did you also see the news article that came out last week where it was like Nintendo executives believe that Donkey Kong Bonanza, and it was Kid and Krista?
Yeah.
Because I messaged Kid afterwards. I'm like, when were you an executive?
Yeah, I saw his tweet. He was like, "Yeah, it was never a fucking."
My man got
executive."
My Nintendo News, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Why are these Nintendo news places
internet
like,
content?
always shit? Always.
Because
I think they want the clicks, obviously. Yeah, they want to get the clicks, and so they
So
title
bad.
it something crazy. But I mean, if you're a Nintendo news site, you know who Kit and Krista are. You know they were not executives at Nintendo. Like, they worked in social media. Like, they ran the show, but they weren't executives. I think he even did a little video where he was like, well, I'm glad I got promoted since I got laid off. Yeah, right. It's crazy. So, yeah. Well, anyway, moving away from those two quick news topics, there are two other big things that will be happening before the next show, and that is the Arc System Works Showcase and the Capcom Spotlight Showcase. Now, both of these are happening on Thursday. One of them is happening, I believe, at 6 p.m. Pacific time. The other one's happening, I think, at 4. I think Capcom is earlier. I might be misspeaking. I'm pretty sure Arc System is. Yeah, Capcom's the morning, and then Arc System Works is the evening.
These
And
Arc System motherfuckers got me up until 2 a.m. to show me 2 nuggets of fucking Marvel Tokon news.
So that's what I was going to ask.
That's thing is what I care about.
That's specifically what I wanted to know, is that, do you think this is just Marvel news? Because that whole thing about the new project from Taisky, do you think this is a new Guilty Gear? Like, what do you think this is? Specifically Virum. I want to know Virum.
So Strive was released in 2021. If Daisuke is working on a new Guilty Gear, for instance, let's say they tease it this year and it comes out on let's say next year or the year after, I still even think that might be a little bit too soon, if just because Strive isn't done. There's clearly like it doesn't feel like they're done with Strive, so I'd be kind of surprised if it was a new Guilty Gear. But at the same time, when you think Daisuke, you think Guilty Gear, so I'm really curious to see what it could potentially
If he makes a whole new thing, it could be cool.
The DLC Lifeline is still not. They haven't even fully released all the DLC yet.
Yeah, I mean,
like
we haven't seen
crossovers aren't done, right?
Yeah, we haven't seen anything on Lucy yet from Cyberpunk. So,
I mean,
that got announced last Evo too, which is crazy. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we haven't officially seen it.
Yeah, it's like how the same day that DK was officially revealed, Pauline also leaked. Somehow.
So is there potential for this to have? You know how like there was that big leak that happened? I think we talked about at the beginning of the year. There was like some massive Arc System Works leak. Was that game that was in that? Was that Marvel Tokon, or was that potentially what this project is going to be?
It was Marvel Tokon.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
what this is.
Oh, interesting. Because I know there's
the way that they've worded this, like the wording of the tweet says various game titles, including completely new titles, will be
right.
Well, in addition to the latest information on various game titles, including completely new titles, we'll be announcing a new project that Daisuke is working on. So that makes me think that they're going to be talking about like multiple games.
Bro, what if they got like the Darkstalkers IP?
That would be insane.
Oh yeah, it could also be an IP revival, and then it's just turned into his style.
I mean,
there was that story. We could see
be
BlazBlue.
BlazBlue, yeah.
There was
it's BlazBlue is what I would.
There was a story a little while ago about a name patent for a My Hero Academia game. This was last year. And there was since some type of like name patent leak or something from Bandai Namco regarding, and I'm assuming Bandai Namco would be the publisher for whatever this Arc System Games game is, if they are making a My Hero related game. Could this potentially be like a My Hero 2D fighter? Like, is that maybe something that we could see during this? Like, I don't know really that much about the development team. Obviously, I know that Arc System Works made Dragon Ball Fighters, so I think there's possibilities that they can maybe pick up like another anime IP. Obviously, I would love like One Piece Fighters or something, but I do feel like knowing that there were rumblings about like name patents for a My Hero game, I think maybe this could also be that. Especially if they're making a Marvel game right now too.
I think if they were to make an anime game right now, it would probably be JJK.
Really though? But JJK's done.
Yeah, but it's still My Hero ended way earlier, and JJK is
No,
still
I know.
way more popular.
Well, I guess. Yeah, because I was going to say My Hero, the anime, is like entering its final season. The manga's been done for a while.
Yeah, and JJK has its movie.
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You think JJK is more popular than My Hero Academia?
It probably is now.
Apparently, yeah.
Isn't it numbers wise?
I mean, look, I don't know.
Sales wise, I'm pretty sure it is.
I still see people talking about JJK, and I don't see much of My Hero.
Because the manga's over.
Has there been a JJK game?
JJK's over too.
Yeah, both My Hero and
JJK.
JJK.
There was a JJK game. It was shit though.
When did it come out? Was it like an arena fighter?
2 years ago or something like that?
Okay.
It wasn't the arena fighter. It was really, really bad.
Yeah. I do remember that actually.
But you know, another anime in quotes game this could be, right?
Oh, Grand Blue?
No.
No.
Oh, Dragalia?
No.
Oh.
What other anime fighter has Arc Sys made?
Well, Dragon Ball.
Kill la Kill.
Yeah. Nah.
I mean,
and the reason I said anime in quotes. Just think of it that way.
Anime in quotes.
Just say the answer, bro.
Persona 4 Arena. So what are this?
Oh, true.
Yeah.
It could be.
That it could be, because aren't they coming out with like the Persona mobile game next week too?
Yes,
that's coming out, and that's also based on Persona 5, and we haven't gotten P5 Arena. That makes a lot of sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. Did Arc System Works develop the previous Arena games?
They did. Yes. It was the BlazBlue team.
Oh, then this could totally be that. Yeah, get this out before Persona 6.
That's why in BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, the Persona 4 characters were in it because it's the same team.
I'm gonna disappoint everyone. I just realized something that could be so funny.
What
if the new project is literally just Switch to Guilty Gear?
Well, I wouldn't say new project. I think.
But
yeah, and they already ported
as a new project.
But they ported Strive to Switch already, didn't they?
Yeah, but again, like
I don't think it would be a new project.
I'm just saying that
especially
might
be... Daisuke like it's like I don't know.
It could be a lot of things. So I just threw that out there.
I do think whatever this thing could be is probably on Switch too. You know.
I mean,
I don't know
think
necessarily if it's like a Switch 2 edition.
Switch 2 from this point on, like.
Well, that's a good segue, because apparently another rumor that's been popping up over the course of this past week is that a major PlayStation IP is apparently going to be coming to Nintendo Switch 2. There's been speculation on what this IP could be. There has been precedent for this now already with the Hot Shots golf games and Patapon coming as published by Bandai Namco to Nintendo Switch.
That Horizon Lego game, right?
The Horizon Lego game as well. Any speculation on what this thing is? I think I know, but I want to hear people's thoughts.
I think the thing that makes the most sense if they're not just going to do Astrobot, I would think the Ratchet and Clank.
I don't know if Switch 2 can run Ratchet and Clank. Now, at least not the new one, the brand new one for PS5.
Did we get off Arxis?
Oh, unless you had something else to say about it, yeah.
I just have my copium that I wanted.
Oh, let's do it.
I don't think it's an anime. Actually, I think I'm wrong, but I just want to throw it in the universe. I think it's about time. There's a particular Arxis game that everyone's been waiting for a very popular game made by Atlas.
Did you just miss that whole conversation we just had?
Yeah, we
Yes,
did.
I was
we did.
AFK. I was AFK.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
brought
yeah,
up- I brought
P5
up my cooking
Arena.
Persona 5 Arena. I brought that
Okay.
up.
That's my copia.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's okay. I was like, wait a minute. I thought you were in the call the whole time. I was confused.
No, I went into a deep dive into the sales between JJK and My Hero.
I gotcha. That's fair.
They're both over.
Well, then what do you think? What do you think this is? Do you think it's Ratchet and Clank? Do you think Ratchet and Clank is the PlayStation game coming to Switch 2? What do you think this is, Tito?
Wait, so that's confirmed that it is a PlayStation game coming to Switch?
There's
2?
going to be a PlayStation game coming to Switch 2. A major PlayStation IP is coming to Switch 2.
I think it's God of War.
Just say God. I knew you
That
were
would
gonna say
be
God.
that would be crazy if God of War was on
I think
Switch
it's God.
2.
Here's the thing. I think it's either God of War or it's Rift Apart. Like it has to be one of the
Yeah.
two because those are the two. Like everything that the Switch 2 is doing is trying to show you how it's not a dog shit leapfrog tablet. And I would argue if that's the goal, if I was the decider, it would be Rift Apart because that game is fucking gorgeous. That game is insanely like
That game would also melt the Switch.
yeah.
Well,
but
I think Cyberpunk also is
Yeah,
a fine
like,
example. Of that.
You can make it run on the Switch too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
yeah. So
The
like
Switch, no, but the Switch too, yes.
I think it might be what Coast actually just recently brought up. I think it might be Death Stranding because that's technically a PlayStation Studios IP.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
I could see a world in which, especially knowing like they have the Metal Gear games on Switch and stuff like that, I could see a world in which Death Stranding, especially Death Stranding's even on like iPhones, isn't it? So I could see Death Stranding being the game.
Hear me out. You want to hear the wild pick?
No, I got the wild pick.
You know what game? You know what Sony game would be perfect on a Nintendo console?
Spider-Man.
Nope.
No.
The game that we Astro.
Oh, that's true. Astrobot would be crazy. If they ported
Battle Royale, Beat Saber, bring it back. No, I'm kidding. No,
if they ported Astrobot to Switch 2, that would be insane. Yeah.
I know what game it is, by the way. I have
What is it?
Okay,
Let's hear it.
Can you read
Go
it?
ahead, Coast.
Yeah, it's so right here it says PlayStation has lended lent whatever there's a typo. Yes. They have given the rights to Nintendo for Days Gone.
If we want to get technical in the spirit of you said what was the exact thing you said, Roger? A major PlayStation IP? Or?
A major PlayStation Studios IP. So something
Studios
that is
IP,
like the
okay,
IP
fine.
is a first party IP. So like your Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man's, God of War's, that type of stuff.
Yeah, because if it was just like PlayStation IP, it's like, well, if we're going like in the spirit of PlayStation IP, like Spyro or Crash, but they don't actually own those anymore.
Sure.
I mean, Crash is already on the Switch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. Forgot the
and Spyro.
Oh yeah, the Spyro. That's right. I forgot
There's a
about
trilogy
that.
on the Switch.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, that was like one I had to buy on PlayStation.
Do you guys think Last of Us or?
I do not think Last of Us.
I hope
that'd be crazy if they
Oh,
put
you're right.
Last
Yeah,
of Us on
the
the
trilogy
Switch
is
too.
indeed on the Switch. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I hope it's not Last of Us 2. Keep Last of Us away from my Switch.
I think it's Death Stranding.
With all
I
of their
do too.
marketing, like with all of the way that they are trying to show you how powerful the Switch 2 is, I think a game like Rift Apart, like God of War, would make the most sense from just if that's their goal, right? If that's their goal to be like, yo, that we're running like God of War and Ragnarok on the fucking Switch 2. Like now, I don't think either of those games are particularly visually impressive. Like I think Rift Apart still to this day is the best looking game on the PS5. Like to this day, like still. So, but it's Tetris Effect.
They actually did just announce Luminous during the last State of Play, remember?
Yeah.
And that's the developers Enhance that makes Tetris Effect. They're making Luminous.
Is that
so?
Stranding.
Actually, it
Move
could
on.
happen. Yeah. Well, one of the
This
other
would
news
never
stories that
happen the
came
other
out.
way around either. This is
Oh
crazy.
hell no, no! Nintendo would never put Mario on a PlayStation ever. They would rather kill Mario in a guillotine. There's no way.
Yeah, we finally got Mario on phones.
Yeah,
after all this time,
impossible. Yeah.
This is actually a weird combined story, and I'm not familiar really with either of these, but I think Tito might be with one, and I think Coast, you might be with the other. There's this whole thing going on right now with the Steam charts for Marvel Rivals and Monster Hunter. Have you seen this? Do you know what we're talking about? Where Monster Hunter Wilds is apparently now like negatively reviewed or something. It's now like in the negative zone for reviews on Steam. And that apparently, and then Marvel Rivals apparently for the first time half a year after release has now dropped to sub 100K players on Steam as well. And their reviews have also been moved to mixed. And so I was just curious from people who play those games, what's happening with both of those? Because those are obviously huge titles.
You want to go first, Coach? You want me to go?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I have not played Rivals for a hot minute, so.
Okay. Wilds suffers from from the accessibility that World provides. Because when you add a bunch of people to Monster Hunter is niche for what it is, like historically.
Sure.
Until World, it was a very niche game.
Until World, it was a very niche game. Then a lot of fucking people played World because World is like arguably like the big, not even, I don't think it's arguable. It's the biggest Monster Hunter game. Like it just is. So it's like it by every metric it is. Like by every
that's debatable. But keep going.
It's the biggest. I didn't say best.
No, I know. My issue with the word biggest, yes, is not with the word best. But it's okay. Keep going.
Okay. All right. I just but by every metric up until Wilds, like it's the biggest Monster Hunter game. It has the most player base. It has the most people talking about Monster Hunter. It got more people to play Monster Hunter than any other Monster Hunter game before. So when people play Wilds, they expected them to play like World. The problem was World got Iceborne, and then people went to go back and they were able to consume all that content. We don't have fucking Wild. People forget how long we had to wait before Iceborne. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Iceborne was crazy. So, like, people are trying to, like, wait, and so they go back. So what's happening is that the game is getting negatively reviewed for what Monster Hunter has historically done, which is, hey, this game's a little shaky. Where's all the content? They're putting out regular content. There's another title patch, like, literally in, like, a week or two. Where's all my content? Because the way we expect content as a consumer base, not us individually, but the masses, they expect content to be rolled out more regularly, but that's just never how Monster Hunter has done anything. They don't do that. They were like, they give you a shit ton and then you wait. They give you a shit ton and then you wait. And like, I'm actually shocked that they're giving you weapon transmog already. Like, that's crazy to me. Like you're already getting that. And you're like, that's crazy. Like,
it's just a feature. I mean, yeah, they could say that, but they really shouldn't, because it's a feature that people enjoy. So they definitely should just.
They should or shouldn't. I'm saying like that is they usually wait until the expansion to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That they shouldn't be doing that. It should just be in the game.
I think it should be a game at launch, but yes. But I don't expect it to be there until the expansion. So the fact that they're doing it early tells me that they're listening. But the reason why, Roger, you're bringing this up on Steam is because then people started playing the fuck out of World, and then going back and be like, "Yo, this game's fire." Guess what? That game is fire. You know why? The game is done. The game has giga content.
Right. They're not adding. Yeah. Right. Sure.
But
the game is finished.
The game is giga content, and again, this is what I was saying about. Y'all know how I feel about the difference between World, Wilds, and Rise. World, for the average person, is more enjoyable of a play for the average person because of its presentation, which is what people who started with World, like that's what their brains are trained for. Like, World's presentation is better than Wilds and Rise. That's like the thing that it's better at. So when people go back and play World, or when maybe they picked up Wilds, they go back to like, yo, look at this Diablos fight. Yo, look at Nergigante. Yo, look at all these monsters. And then they go back to Wilds. They're like, where's my content? I'm fighting this duck. Like, when the actual Monster Hunter is somewhere in between. So that's really all it is just people just don't it's a bunch of people who don't play Monster Hunter complaining that Monster Hunter is doing the thing that's been doing for 20 years.
Yes, which I also understand that, but I also feel like they need to adjust to the way things like. I get it, and I understand this is exactly how Monster Hunter is. I played all of them, obviously, but in the current market, doing it this way isn't as good. Personally, that's like where I'm at is, and I, like I said, a Monster Hunter fan, understand I can just play it for a bit, I can put it down, I can come back later, and there'll be a ton of content to play through, and that's great, so I can enjoy all of it. But a lot of people want to play your game, so you probably. I'm not saying they need to update it faster. I think there just needs to be more in the base game to counteract this.
I would agree, but we already can't solve that problem.
What? No, I'm saying going forward. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying for this game in particular. Yeah, it's this the way it is. I'm saying going forward to counteract this issue, their base game needs to have more.
We do think though that like we will eventually get the G type game for Wilds.
Yes, they're
right? Like, there is going to be
it. Yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna get Monster Hunter Wilds Unsundered or whatever the fuck whatever the fuck it's gonna be called, and that game will be fire, and it will be hot take, not even a hot take. That game, whatever version of that game, will be better than Daybreak. That's like that. Whatever by the end of Wilds, that out of the last 3 monsters, that will be the best game. Like just because of like, you know, whatever. Like, they have multiple iterations now, and the way they're doing it, clearly they're learning and listening at a faster rate and giving people what they want. Whatever. Did I say Daybreak, Sunbreak? You know what the fuck I meant.
I know what you meant. Yeah, I know what you meant.
Like whatever. Like
it'll
be better than Iceborne too.
My thing with Wild is like, because I know for World, and I still can't put my finger on why, but something with World as like a long-time Monster Hunter player always just felt off. So I didn't keep up with World as much as like Rise and Sunbreak. I played all of it, and I like Wilds. I'm pretty sure I talked about this, but to bring it up again, I feel like with their updates, they need to really change the whole like you need to. I can't even remember what they're called. Expeditions, I think they're called. Like the monsters randomly pop up on the map to make the open world feel more open. Because I feel like the game is being hindered by this open world aspect. That part of it is cool, but in reality, I don't really need this open world Monster Hunter to be.
You'd rather just like go to a zone.
I'd rather just be able to queue up for a quest of the new monster you just put in the game and fight them. Not, oh, you can only fight this thing when an expedition pops up, so then you need to cheese it by just going to sleep constantly until the expedition pops up. Then you can fight it 4 times. It's like, just let me, like, they put in the end story monster so you can actually get his set. Yeah, you can fight it once for the story mission, then you have to wait for expeditions. And it's like, okay, that's dumb. That's very dumb. Like, let me just fight the thing. So that would help. The game doesn't perform well on PC, so that's also not helping them. Like, I was playing it on PC and I could not play it and stream it on PC, so I started playing it on Xbox because I
have no issues on PC, so I don't know.
Yeah, I streamed it on PC too.
I have absolutely no issues on PC.
Yeah, it's because the thing with PC performance is PCs are so different between PC to PC.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't really good on your.
Okay, bro, this is not just a me thing. A lot of people are saying the game's poorly optimized.
A majority of the people I know at this point don't have performance issues, is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know at this point on PC, obviously post the patch, like I don't know many people who are having performance issues to the point where they're playing other versions of the game. Like Roger, you played on PC?
Like
I'm playing on PC. I have no problems. But the thing is, I also have like a sponsored super
always
nice,
gotta flex.
You know
Always
I mean?
Gotta fucking flex.
No, but I'm saying that's not the norm. I know that's not the norm.
That was definitely unnecessary.
I wasn't saying it like that. I was not saying it like that.
My computer nice too, bruh. We can go spec for spec right now, bro.
I know that's not what I'm saying. I wasn't saying it like that. I was just saying that, like, you know.
He said, "Of course, I wouldn't have any problems." Have you seen my computer?
Yours is shit. Like, why did he think that?
I didn't mean it like that. That's not how I meant it.
Known flexer, Rogers base. He got a 6090 in that bitch.
That boy Roger got the 9020 in that bitch.
He got an i15 in that motherfucker, man.
That boy got the nuclear codes in that bitch.
Anyways, McDare, get your money up. Anyway.
What? I know you're not choking on your own microphone.
How did we get here?
It's not money.
I also gotta say that is crazy. That is specifically crazy hearing that from Ricky, who we literally had to do a microphone drive for. When McDarrett,
See, you're not about to play my man Ricky Paper Stack, bro.
If we were going band for band, Mick Dareth single-handedly funded like half of the Japan Time videos.
Listen, man.
And they're editing on the channel for like a year because we were like, no, we don't have to make anything. He goes, no, I care about this
Ricky,
show. So I'm
Ricky
gonna
just
fund
spending
it.
his money on
That's
other
crazy,
things, bro.
man.
That's all, man.
He's spending
He's his money on other things, bro. You're not gonna
Shofu
play up my
gets
man
it.
Ricky Paper
Shofu
Stacks
gets
like
it.
that, man.
I don't think
Yeah.
Ricky's spending his money.
Shofu
I mean, we
seen
know
this
Ricky.
guy. Shofu-
Ricky,
using
you
his
got a
Japan
Switch
phone.
too.
Phone
He's
card.
seen it. He's seen it.
We know he bought a Switch 2 at the very
It's
least.
cookies.
Hello?
We know you bought the Switch 2 because you've been playing Switch 2 with us.
You think those silkies was cheap too? Okay.
Yes.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is you bought a
Yes,
Switch 2?
yes, I do. I saw on Amazon exactly the same brand. They were $3 each.
Okay.
Okay.
So why didn't you have a silky before I gave you one all this time? Why, if you could afford it, why didn't you have a silky before I
What?
gave you one? You
What?
you can't explain that piece,
Wait, you
can
are
you?
in the corner, bro. You're out of meter. Just relax. Just hold back.
Oh.
You're good.
All right. Okay, that's fine.
Bro's trying to
Just block, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Okay,
just
well.
hold down back.
Well, anyway, most of the complaints on Steam are performance issues for PC, so it's still a thing that PC performance issues are still a thing. So,
Not with a
Well, then
6 or
I'm
9,
curious.
bro.
I was trying to say.
We were talking about the Monster Hunter stuff, but I'm curious about what's going on with Rivals then. Why are people like dropping off of it? Did they add some new thing to it that people don't like?
I think
Like,
just
what's
there are
going
way
on
too
with
many fucking
Rivals?
games, bro. I'm looking on Steam charts right now. That shit's got 88K right now. That's a good ass number, bro. Like
I was gonna say that seems pretty good, but people
And that's
were
only counting
Doom
Steam. It's a
posted about it.
crossplay
only
game.
coming thing.
yeah.
I think people just look for any downturn of a game that's popular. See, look, it's not that good after all.
Steam charts is one of the worst fucking
It's also
metrics.
It's also the tail
Unless
end
it's
of
a
the season
Steam-only
right
title.
now. Like a new season's about to come out, so it's kind of expected that like a player count can like drop a little bit before. Like the
And
season's been going on for so long, they just don't want to play the content right now until some new stuff comes out. So
And also, not that any of us need a reminder, but for literally anyone listening or anyone who looks at Steam charts, most people play console games. Like that is like most people play
That's true.
console.
Yeah.
Like by a large margin.
Also,
What the hell is-
it varies.
What is Bongo
by
Cat?
genre
What is
sometimes,
this?
But like,
Yeah, of course.
if
Yeah.
you use Steam charts for a fighting game, you have like rocks in your head.
I'm looking on here. It says I'm looking at Steam charts because I've never really get on this website. The number 3 most played game right now is a game called Banana.
Yo, shout out
That's got
Banana.
114,000.
Hey,
What is it?
yo! And I got a long banana.
And I got that was pause. It's a free game, that's why.
And then the other one is Bongo Cat with 100K live players right now. Bongo Cat.
Banana is a clicker game in which you click a banana.
That's
It
the
is
whole
cookie-
game?
It is cookie clicker, but a banana.
come on, download that
Okay.
shit right now.
It's free to play. Go ahead and play banana.
Apparently, there's 100,000 people playing the new Dune game too.
Also, Peak is apparently.
know this even
popular.
came out.
Yo, we gotta play that. Show.
Peak is the new aggro crab game, right? The people who made like another Crab's Treasure.
I don't know who made it, but it's that game where like it's like proximity chat and you're all climbing a mountain.
The mountain, yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, okay. I haven't played it.
I
yet.
just find it funny that they've credited a lot of their popularity to people just on social media being like, yo, I'm playing Peak, and it's like it's not their game. Like they just reference another game.
Yeah.
So like they're just getting free marketing from people making jokes.
For people saying this game is Peak.
Fire.
No, not even that. Like people would be like, yo, I'm playing Peak, and then it's like fucking Jack 2 or something. But they're like
yo, Peak.
but they're playing they're putting the I don't know. I can't explain it. You gotta find
I know
it.
what you mean, yeah. I know what you mean. But
I
yeah,
get it.
Steam
They're
charts-
just calling something peak, and it's just leading
Yeah.
people to go look
I
for
mean,
that game.
again, Steam charts is just like an awful way to tell you if a game is doing well or not, especially if the game is cross-platform and has crossplay, like which Marvel Rivals is. So it's like,
It's literally only good if it's on Steam only.
right. And even then,
Are we wrapping this up then? I think we covered everything. Any other topic you guys want to talk about before we wrap this up?
Shout out Tyrese Halliburton.
Or are we talking about like
we didn't-
NBA
we
trades?
didn't-
We could do.
we didn't
Wait.
talk
We can talk about NBA trades. Can we talk about Kevin Durant?
Achilles is gone.
Oh, I
We
thought
didn't
we were going to
talk
talk
about
about Kevin
Kevin
Durant. Okay, Capcom? Go ahead. What do you think we're going to get here?
Well, they're gonna show off the new wilds. Like they're probably gonna see Lagiacrus, and then
Okay.
potentially what's coming after that. 'Cause that update is soon. That's kind of it. So that's all that I. Well, that it might do more RE9 potentially.
No, there is. They confirmed it.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely be
It's
there.
it's Pragmata, RE9, Monster Hunter, and Street Fighter 6.
Okay.
Like those are the only 4 things you will be seeing during their conference or presentation, whatever the hell it is.
Okay. I am curious. I mean, we've seen gameplay of Pragmata, but I still.
I have no interest in that fucking game, man.
Yeah, true.
That game does look cool though.
It definitely
With,
looks
like the kid on your back and you're shooting the weird laser things, and they delayed it a bunch, but the art style's cool. I don't hate it. I think it looks cool.
DK Bonanza.
That's true.
You're gonna get a little girl on your thing, you know. So you don't need.
What? What did you
That's
just say?
that's a crazy thing.
Yo,
What did you just say?
End the fucking show.
At the show, what was that, Ricky? You want to take that back for a
I don't know
second?
what I said. What did I
You
say?
said you get a little girl on your thing?
On your back. Okay, you're going crazy. Don't
No,
do that.
nah.
That's crazy.
No, can we just
You just moved on.
All
right
of us
past
were
it.
like, "What the heck?" All right. Speaking of, wait, hold on. There are some actual other announcements. They announced the new Pokemon TCG Pocket expansion coming out in 3 days.
Ooh.
This is
Oh,
the
is that
new
the
Eevee
Eevee
expansion.
The evolution one, yeah.
Getting the
I don't
Eevee
care.
expansion. That's happening. You don't care. Are you not playing anymore?
I know I am,
Bro, I
but
haven't
like
played that game in fucking months, man.
I'm just so exhausted of having to keep playing daily for monthly like set releases.
These
You don't have
expansions
to,
happen
you're just-
too often.
Yeah, they are,
Yeah,
man.
they-
They're
they
just
are
very fast,
They're
yeah.
just
It's the same thing that happened to Duel Links.
Okay.
That they like just cranked out too many of these
Duel
expansions.
Links
and
started
people
putting
didn't
out
play them enough.
They used to do like at the start. It took like a while for boxes to come out, and then they started doing monthly, and then they started doing mini boxes like bi-monthly, or not bi-monthly, like plus the original box, so like 2 boxes a month.
Well, isn't that kind of what happened here, right? Because we had the Shining
Yeah, pretty
Revelry, and
Like
then
every
we
month,
had the
yeah.
right, and then we got the what's it called? The one with the Ultra Beasts, and then there was the Solgaleo one.
That
I
was
think-
before. The Solgaleo one was before the Ultra Beast one.
Yeah.
Right, so
I think the
Solgaleo and
actual,
Ultra Beast,
like
right?
the actual core game rules are too limiting to make battling interesting, and the trading,
yeah.
the collecting part is losing its magic for people.
See, I actually really like what they're doing with the
That's
little
a
like
little
monthly events where you had like the Rayquaza EX event and they had like the Necrozma
Yeah.
one. Like
I think
finding
that's
out how to.
enough.
I was like, I don't need a new set every
You know
month
what's
if you're going to
crazy?
keep doing those.
You know what's crazy? No one is using those cards.
I've
Because
seen
they're
people
bad.
try. People try to do Necrozma.
Yeah, but it's not worth
great.
it because everything they release in the base sets are just better.
Yeah, they're
We
really
talked
Everyone
about
is-
What's-
Splatoon.
Everyone
what's
just
also
goes
annoying-
to
here's the
Guild
thing.
Lord.
we did.
Here's the
Something-
thing. It's the cards don't have their supports yet. I feel like when future sets come out, then older cards
They
become
definitely
relevant.
What? No. What?
I mean, there's a
That's
potential for
happened before.
that has
Pe-
happened. It has happened. Like Gallade
In the
is-
meta,
a
yeah, the
bunch of
meta
shit is
shifts
more,
like that.
More common now because of rare candy, but it's still just in my mind the speed of stuff they make in this, because I've actually been grinding ranked. I got to like Ultra 3 this season.
Whoa, okay.
The speed of stuff that they make.
You got
is,
the UB3?
yeah.
Bastard.
The stuff
Okay.
that they
You think
make
it's
is
special.
just
Yeah,
you have
one.
to go.
I'll be honest.
You just have to go so fast in these decks that like in a 20 card. So my thing with what Zeph said is like in a 20 card deck, like 6 cards are locked. You need to have 2 Pokeballs. You need to have 2 Professor Oaks. In my opinion, you need to have some combination of Sabrina and Cyrus. You have to have
Well,
those cards.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
well, technically, the only cards that every single deck needs are the double oak. There are some archetypes. I
Sure,
mean, one of the best
sure.
current meta decks, which is the Sylvalai deck with Rampardos, only runs 1 Pokeball. It doesn't run any.
Yeah, because you can swap it with because you use a
Yeah, because you're only using 2 basics in the deck. But there are a couple of other archetypes that are like they opt for a lot of other trainer cards instead. My issue is something else entirely. Why the fuck are we getting so many duplicates of Mons when there are so many Mons they don't even have yet?
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah,
Like,
that's
why
Yeah,
the
cards,
fuck are there
yeah.
4 Magmars? No one needs 4 magmas.
There's a.
I forgot.
I mean, I'm saying this.
Been relevant the entire time it got released. I don't think you can actually functionally use that card.
I
don't know
I'm
why
gonna
they
say,
keep pushing it.
I will say, like, I am saying this as the world's #1 Lickitung fan, right? The fact that there are multiple Lickitung cards. No, but this is crazy to me that there are multiple Lickitung cards in Pokemon TCG Pocket right now. And there's not even like half of the other regular Pokemon.
One thing that actually bothers me about the game, that like why I don't play it, is that there's not true RNG. It's like predetermined, not predetermined, but like it's logic based and not actual RNG. So,
what do you mean? Explain that a little bit more for me.
Your hands are always going to be predetermined because they don't fucking have the most.
They make it so that no matter what, you have something.
A basic Pokemon
you
always have a basic. Yeah. Right, because that was the whole thing with the Necrozma.
You can build insane, stupid decks with that.
That's literally what I did. Yeah. For the Necrozma set, I did 2 Darkrai EXs, like filled it with Cyrus, Poison, like the Poison Tool, and I forgot what some of the other things were. And basically, I would just damage everything. The computer would then swap out. You would pull the Cyrus, pull the other thing in, and by the time you have the 3 energy, you would just one-shot kill everything. And then if you needed to heal up, you just use your potions or like Pokemon Center ladies or whatever, and you only have 2 Pokemon in your whole deck.
The logic-based stuff is also not just the starting hand stuff. Like, it also happens with coin flips. It
Sure.
Things you just draw. Like, there's not true RNG, which is like the only thing I care about for me to actually want to play it.
I just can't keep up.
You're a gambler because you probably still run a Marowak deck.
I'm pulling cards every day. I'm not even getting the cards that I need before a new fucking expansion comes out.
Same thing.
That's true. Same thing. Yeah.
And then right, the cards I've been trying to get the entire time don't even fucking matter anymore.
Exactly.
That is the thing. I think something so.
Pack, I'm only missing 1 regular card. It's a fucking regular Celesteela. I have 3 full art Celesteelas. They don't count towards the regular total.
That is me with Alolan Dugtrio EX, man. I still need the regular Alolan Dugtrio EX, and I have pulled not. It's the only card I have left. But you can't trade. That's the problem. No. But the problem is you can't trade.
In a couple days, you can get it.
No, but it should be
pissed that you didn't have it
if you're
now.
Right, because if the meta is introducing new cards and you're trying to play with those cards, they should have it where as soon as the set comes out, you still have the same thing where you can't trade certain, high rarity cards or whatever. Fine. If you need to do that to stop the whales, so Fidel keeps spending $200 every set, fine. But like,
that's why
for those of us that are playing,
the pack points to just transfer over to anyone.
Yes,
pack points should be universal. I don't give a
fuck. Yes. That's not set specific.
It should work like a card shop. It should be each pack has its own specific credit. It's so stupid.
At this point, when am I going to go back to Apex Charizard and pull something from?
Right, you're not. Yeah, right.
And the price point of the cards that you buy individually are fucking insane. Like it's almost impossible.
It's like $500 for a base EX.
If you're not
like
paying
you said,
for anything,
it's ridiculous.
It's almost impossible. Yeah.
It takes 2 weeks. If you're doing a pull every day, it takes 2 weeks to just pull a rare.
Man,
I've been needing 2 rares to complete my set, and I basically just have to wait a month to finish this fucking Ultra Beast set because I can't pull. Or sorry, the Solgaleo set because I can't pull a rare Tapu Bulu, but I can pull like 5 Guzzlord EXs.
It was ultra obnoxious with Shining Revelry because that has so many EXs.
Yes. Oh my god, yes.
I was praying to God. I was taking my Bible out to get a Crabominable, bro.
And since they put in the shinies, like maybe I'm wrong and like they lower the shiny, but I almost feel like since they put in the shinies, because you cannot get a shiny in Wonder Pick, that when someone pulls a shiny, their whole pull is just nuked. You won't see it in Wonder Pick. So I think Wonder Pick quality is worse.
I don't
even know why shinies are exempt from, like, what the fuck is the point?
Right, literally.
Are people kind of annoyed with shinies now because it takes away from what your potential pull could have been?
Yes, 110%. Bro, I'm definitely.
Shinies are a cool concept, but the fact that I can't trade it for something is insane.
Bro, that's no reason for that. Another issue I got is like the importance they put on, like, why do they keep giving me full art cards? I don't give a fuck about that.
Yo,
I
have
give me
about
the
97
regular
full art
trying to make
give
your
me
deck,
the regular
right?
Degler EX card that I fucking need. Keep the full art bullshit. I don't give a fuck, bro. I have
If I get
27
full
of
art
this
Rowlet
Pokemon
one more
already.
time, bro, something bad's gonna
Nice,
happen.
man. I pulled a full art comfy, bro. Nice,
And it's
man.
not like the full art is any different from the regular fucking card. I don't care
I'm gonna
about
do
this
right now. I have both
Big
of
up
them.
full art picky peck.
Or at the
That
very
was-
least,
yeah,
yeah,
full
at
art
the
Miguel
very
Sky.
least, what it should do, at the very least, what it should do is count the full art if you pull the full art as getting the regular card because they are the same card. Like that is,
would
I
be-
think, the thing that
would be
really is
fantastic for
aggravating.
completing the set.
Right? Because
Yeah,
I
I'm
love the full
But
art.
they
I'm
want you to
pulling my
be.
first
They
pack.
want it to be a diamond.
But
What
it's
they
not
should
like
do-
that. Like, bro,
I don't get shit.
why do I need this full art Weezing? I have 25 fucking Weezings already.
What
Like,
they should
don't
actually
treat the
do
full
is
art as
if-
the rare card in the pack. I hate that shit.
If they're gonna put logic-based stuff in their game, they should have either logic-based dueling and pack
He's cutting out.
dueling and pack drawing. Don't just make one RNG, one logic-based.
They just
Right,
tried
have the
silencing
Fucking
me.
annoying. What
What did
did
you
I not
get?
come out? Did I
Yeah,
not say
kinda.
anything?
You
All right,
cut out.
fuck Nintendo,
okay.
fuck Pokemon. No, I was saying
that came clearly. We heard that one clearly.
I
Oh
was
my
saying,
god.
if they're gonna make one portion of the game logic based and one RNG, do it both for two things. Like, just make the pack pulling logic based as well. If you can detect what we have already in our collections, then make it a lower rate to pull it. Why the fuck am I pulling like 22 full meows? I don't give a fuck.
So I got a question because I haven't heard this yet. So you're saying that what you draw in a match, besides your starting hand, is logic based.
Yeah.
You mean like so your deck is not predetermined? Like they don't shuffle it. Here's your deck. They actually are determining your next draw based on what you have.
Yes.
What the? Why?
Yeah, that's
Same
why
thing
you
with
always
point
get
play.
no matter what, you don't have mulligans in this because you always are guaranteed a
Yeah,
basic.
because you would
in your first
mulligan in a real TCG because you need to play
Yeah,
at least
because
one
you
basic.
Right.
yeah, because you're
Right,
starting
right.
hand. So I can understand for the starting hand, but I'm saying like draws after that.
No, but what I'm saying, like, yes,
Mm.
draws after that are also predetermined.
Right. So like if
They
you're
might be
trying to
predetermined a little bit.
Not predetermined. That's the wrong word I'm using. It's logic based.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
so
don't
it's like if
understand
a
the
pack
right.
will have
part.
this, it'll have this, it'll have that, or
right,
like
right.
it'll determine if it's
so
gonna be a god pack.
If I had these cards in my hand at the start, it determines my deck after that.
It doesn't also. It also takes into effect what your opponent has.
What? Why would they do
That's
I don't know, I feel like
crazy.
that.
Yeah.
It depends on like what prize, like how many prize cards are left, like not prize cards but points are left, what they have in play, like energies and stuff like that. It's cringe.
The amount of times that both Professor Oaks have been at the bottom of my deck. Like, how is that possible? Like,
Yeah,
this is
right.
the way it
Right,
works.
right.
What?
The game hates you.
Like,
That's the
there's-
clear
there's-
answer. I mean,
There's just
that's what
too
it
many
is.
times where I duel someone, they have like the perfect EX to start with, and then it's a Professor Oak Pokeball, and then the next turn Professor Oak Pokeball, and it's just like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna fucking
Yeah,
uninstall
isn't that
the app,
crazy?
man.
I run into that a lot too.
Yeah. A lot. Like that's what I was gonna say for like ranked in this game is because it's only 20 cards, because Professor Oak exists, and because Pokeballs exist, like if you don't have a good hand and draw, unless your opponent literally just hits nothing, you're probably gonna lose. It's just like that's the thing that annoys
100%.
me is the whole strategy aspect of building a deck and playing around what your opponent has. There's a little bit of that, but so much of it is just
I think
draw
eventually at a
more than
certain
anything
point
else.
they're gonna need to implement a system that they have like with the TCG where it's like you play standard where you can only play cards from a certain set, like or not a certain set but a range of certain sets, and then expanded where you can just play from any fucking set.
They
There's
might have to
also-
eventually, yeah.
There's also just the fact that going second is so much stronger still than
Yeah.
going first.
Yes.
There's so many decks. Like going back to the Sylvali, the current meta Sylvali deck, you're fighting two different decks if they go first versus if they go second.
Yeah, 100%. It's even like the deck I'm playing is the Dark Ultra Beast, so Nihilego, Nagana Deal, Guzzlord. And going first, if I get Poipole and draw the Nagana Deal, literally whatever you have is dead. You can't do anything. If I also have a Nihilego, it does 60. It kills everything. But if I go second, or if I go first and get Guzzlord in my hand, it's like, okay, well, I probably just lose. It's just
Yeah,
like,
turn
how it
one,
is.
realistically, only for like a few decks is it okay to be turn one. Otherwise, turn two is always the way to go. And you have to have your deck like built around it, like with your zero auras, and have your
I still play
like,
wishy-washy, so I'm fly like if I can get lucky and I can pull wishy-washy EX in the starting hand with a Pokeball and then Misty, and then I can like turn one just do like 70 damage
tons
and
of damage.
chilling.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game needs changes for me to actually want to play it. I will probably still until the game service ends. I will probably still just keep pulling cards because that's still fun.
Oh yeah, it's fun, of course, and it's like you check in.
I like
it takes
admiring
no
the
time
art
at all.
and stuff,
Yeah, the
so,
art's pretty. It's
yeah.
free. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think we gotta admit that the game at a base level is decent because
oh yeah, and I play all the
release,
time.
we
Yeah,
still talk about it.
Yeah,
we're still, like we're still kind of here.
Okay, but what I will
It's
say
also
is
Pokemon.
Yes, I was about to say that. Anything Pokemon can be mediocre, but because it's Pokemon, it will still be talked about. Pokemon Masters, bro, that game is not great at all. People still play it.
Yeah,
I finally stopped playing.
Well, the music is good, right?
The music is good. The
music in
fact that the
Masters is
characters are
awesome.
actually voiced is good, but like the actual gameplay and the stuff they're doing around the pulling is not good. But it's Pokemon, so people play it. Pokemon Sleep, fuck, I'm still playing that game, and only playing it because it's Pokemon. That's it. But I'm still playing in theory crafting Pokemon.
Oh yeah, speaking of, isn't there a direct?
Yeah, I can't. I wish I could play Pokemon Sleep, but it doesn't work with two people in the bed. You can't play it like it will automatically read Reagan's movement, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, come on, man. And at one point it missed I missed all my progress that I had made one evening, and I was like, oh, I'm done with this, and I just dropped it. And I enjoyed it for like a little while. But then after it screwed up the first time, I just never went back to it. Like there's other certain things that I've given a second try to. That's not one of them. What were you saying, Zeph?
I don't. Oh yeah, aren't we getting a direct next month?
Direct.
Well, we are getting a it has been confirmed. We have a Pokemon Presents coming at the end of July.
I think for some reason I feel like we'll see champions.
Yeah, for sure. I could see
agree,
a shadow
yeah.
drop in actually. Yeah. Because they pushed that not only a lot like when it first came out and on all the different Pokemon materials, but on Switch 2, if you go to the eShop on day one on Switch 2 and you scroll down just like at first page, Pokemon Champions was there on the first page of Switch 2 day one. So clearly they're planning something big for it. So yeah, I would not be surprised to see Champions. Obviously see a bunch.
The Nintendo rumor direct in June.
Oh no, that guy's full of shit. Yeah. And that's a whole nother separate thing. But that guy's totally, he's full of shit. But with the Pokemon Presents in particular, like obviously we already know that XD and Coliseum are coming. We know that already for Switch 2 online. They've already announced that. We still need to find out more information about the megas that are going to be in ZA. We probably need to see more gameplay of that as well. Pokemon Champions, new updates for TCG. Like there's a lot of stuff they got to go over.
Did we make any side bets about what new megas would be in the game? Because if not, we should do that right now.
I don't think so.
What are we like betting on? Like things that we think are going to show up?
Discussion where a lot of like a handful of us.
Oh, we just started throwing out Pokemon.
There aren't gonna be new ones, and they're just all.
I think there will be a few.
Wait, there's definitely new ones though.
I think
I know
for sure.
Yeah, the starters are gonna, but that's that was a talking. That's just something that came up in conversation.
Yeah, I do remember that. I think we just threw out random Pokemon. Like we didn't make any bets.
Can I make one?
Sure.
I want to say Chandelure because it's the only Pokemon I beat McDarathan in Pokken.
Fuck no.
There we go.
Even though it was one game, one set,
well,
can't
you lost with me playing Chandelure, so there you go.
And who was I playing, Roger? Who was I playing?
Darkrai. So which is crazy because Darkrai is super effective against Chandelure. So you were just asking.
That doesn't
I'm
work,
sorry, bro.
No, that doesn't work in that game, bro.
Damn, bro. You couldn't just click Dark Pulse and kill him, bro.
It's insane, dude. I don't know.
Actually, to get the Dark Pulse, you have to get 4 pips and do a whole input that I don't know because I don't play that character.
Sounds like you suck. That's all. That's
on Darkrai. Yes, I do.
Just hit Dark Pulse, man.
But then I fixed this kid and you lost. So it's all good.
Yeah, Dark Void, man. I mean, come on. That knocked out Shofu in VGC 14, bro.
You picked Blaziken.
Bro. Click Dark Void, Dark
How much you
Pulse,
played the
bro.
game?
Easy. Dark Void, Dark Pulse, done.
So
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna do a little Pokken
No,
tease.
that
I don't
would-
have to, so you know,
that would
Pokken
never
Copium.
He
and
also
we keep
gets
going
Shadow
from there.
Ball. Just hit Shadow Ball next time.
Oh, yeah, he does have that.
That's true. Well, the Pokemon Presents though isn't by the next show. It's like I think
It's like
after
a couple
Bonanza it
days
comes
after.
out.
No,
Yeah,
it's in exactly like a month. It's on the 22nd,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it is weird that they've announced this so early. That never happens, and it's also weird that they're announcing this with like the Donkey Kong Direct having just happened, and the potential of like a big summer direct, because there's a lot of big Nintendo things we still need to find out about. We don't have a date for Metroid yet. We don't have a date for Kirby Air Riders. We haven't even seen gameplay for Kirby Air Riders. Like,
I think they're
I also just hope, I cannot believe we didn't talk about this. They announced Splatoon. There was a whole new Splatoon game that got announced since the last show.
Raiders, yeah.
Where it's the single player spin-off Splatoon game. They didn't show much, but they just said that basically you are with the 3 treasure hunters from Splatoon 3. What are they? Big Man, and who are the other 2?
Fry and is it Shiver? I don't remember the other ones.
Fry and Shiver. No, you're right. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And so the 3 of you are on like a treasure hunting quest or something, and it's the first Splatoon spin-off. The way they announced this was just very bizarre.
Yeah.
That they had it like in a random drop on the anniversary of Splatoon 1, and they were like, oh, by the way, anyway, we're making a spin-off game, more info soon, and that was it. Are people excited? Like, are there any big Splatoon people in here other than Warchamp and Mike?
I like the Splatoon single player stuff, so I'm excited.
Well, yeah,
It's probably
that's
gonna
true.
be
The single
good.
player is good.
I don't really play Splatoon.
Yeah, I just don't care.
Yeah, yeah. Again, if Warchamp and Mike were here, we'd probably have more of a conversation, but neither of them are here today, so... real quick, back on the point for why they're dropping that ZA direct so early. Yes,
probably because they want to have more info by the time the Gamescom.
Oh well, Gamescom is the end. Gamescom is the end of August, right?
Yeah.
So they'll probably be a Pokemon, not a Pokemon, but they'll probably be like a Nintendo Direct before then. That would focus on a bunch of other stuff. You just think they want to get ahead of announcing whatever that is, like not a regular
bit
Nintendo
more
Direct.
info out by that time.
Yeah, yeah.
And keep people at least in tune with the game.
Yeah, probably. Any other ideas for what you guys think could be in this?
I don't know shit about Splatoon.
No. I meant Pokemon Presents. I think we already moved on Splatoon. That was we're in and out.
Well, I think it's just going to be like the last major pull for ZA.
Oh yeah,
It's
we'll
like
probably
gonna
get
be
the
like-
release date, right? Because we don't have that.
We already have it. It's October.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Yep.
Yeah, they were begging me to pre-order it when I was trying to buy my Switch 2.
You said no, thank you. I'll wait.
No, I said no. Fuck off. That's what I said.
You didn't say that to the employee.
I did. I straight up go
That's
ask
not
him.
cool, man. They're not doing
His
their
name
job.
His name is
Telling the
Peter.
employee to fuck off.
That's crazy, man. You said that to his face.
He gave me a free Switch 2 hat, and I said, thanks, man. And then he's like, you want to pre-order the Pokemon game? And I'm like, fuck you, man.
What the heck?
I probably thought when I go pick up Bonanza, I'll probably drop a pre-order. I know. I hope ZA is good. I think there's a high chance it will be, or at least be enjoyable. But Kalos is my favorite region, so I really want ZA to be good.
I'm not gonna lie, with the Switch 2 update for Scarlet and Violet, I've been having a lot of that, so like I'm very excited.
Yeah.
ZA more than I have been when they first revealed it.
Yeah, Scarlet and Violet obviously still have issues, but I do feel like the Switch 2 upgrade thing has been awesome. Just like playing through it. I know one of my other buddies,
I've liked
Nintendo, has
running
been on the
around
show
just
before.
collecting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like doing just a new run through of the base story.
Yeah,
and
I did a whole playthrough of
catching
everything. And
things.
I had a
it's
lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. One other thing I'm thinking of in terms of something they could drop maybe is like a new mystery dungeon. Because the one that came out on Switch, the one that came out on Switch 1 performed pretty well. I think it was like one of the best-selling mystery dungeon games they've ever done. And then they just never, and that came out like right before COVID, and then they just never made another one. And I feel like maybe they were waiting for Switch 2, and I feel like that could maybe be a good holdover type game in between the next generation late next year. Some type of like mystery dungeon, or I mean, honestly, I know you were saying Huff and Copium or whatever, but like Pokken 2 genuinely could also be another thing that
I
they
think
could do.
since they're pushing megas again,
Yeah, yeah.
it could.
Wouldn't Champion kind of cover? Or no, I'm brain dead. Never mind. I'm sorry. disregard everything I said in the past.
I just think their plan for the year is Champions and ZA.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, and then the Switch. I mean, not the Switch. Excuse me. The GameCube stuff on Switch too. Like I said with Coliseum and XD, which I still think is amazing that we're getting those. That makes me so happy. I've wanted to play Pokemon XD for such a long time. Like actually play it myself and own the game. So that'll be cool.
Global Pokemon Go Fest this weekend. Make sure you all play.
That's right.
To the raids if you're on my friends list.
There was just a community day for the little
I did not
Como
participate in that because I fucking completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
And I like that shiny.
That's it for news then. I think we've covered everything, unless somebody else has anything they want to say about Splatoon. But we kind of hopped off of that really quick, and I realized that is a huge Nintendo thing that happened since the last thing. But there just isn't a lot of information yet.
Yeah, because we didn't even know how it plays. Because like from Octo expansion to side order to this, like we had to how it plays could be so different.
I don't know. Maybe like mouse mode or something, or
actually that would be interesting if it's like the first test to see how that plays in Splatoon. That could actually be really cool.
Especially if it's a single player thing, so you don't have to worry about like people playing with mouse and without mouse.
Mm-hmm.
You just have everybody playing single player mouse mode something to prepare for whatever the next mainline game is. I think it's smart to do this now because obviously Splatoon is huge in Japan, and the rest of the world, obviously, it's still popular, but it's like massive in Japan in a way that, I don't think people expect when they think about like Nintendo franchises for Splatoon to be that high up there, but it really is. Mm-hmm. And I think having some type of like holdover game for them there that, still feeds the hardcore fans that are in Japan while the rest of the world is like waiting for the next mainline one is kind of smart. So obviously we're getting the spinoff too, but it just feels like they're throwing a bone to the hardcore Splatoon fans. And at the same time, I think they've needed to do like a spinoff game for a while. I don't think they could have just kept making regular Splatoon games
Pokemon
and just cranking those out
2 years or something.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Pokemon Rumble.
Pokemon Rumble.
Yeah, I just thought of Pokemon Rumble for some reason.
Maybe Splatoon Raiders plays like Pokemon Rumble. Who knows? But what we do know, 2 weeks from now there'll be a new episode of Japan Time, so look forward to that.
You know what else there will be?
What else?
For those who are still tuned in and are looking to watch some more Japan Time content.
Oh yes.
Recently recorded a video with the fellow gentlemen Roger, Viram, and McDareth.
Yep.
Be on the lookout for that. That'll be coming out soon. I don't know. You guys have anything to say about it?
Well, we actually do have one thing. Not only was it awesome, Coast, as many of you remember, was teasing this surprise thing. And I'm not going to say what the surprise thing was. You guys will just watch the video for yourselves. But I'm actually glad you kept it a surprise because it ended up being an absolute blast.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was good.
And it needed to be a secret.
Yeah, it was really good. I think you guys are going to love that video when it comes out. And you said it's probably next week?
I'm trying to get it done by the end of this week. Just don't know when
great.
we're going to put it up.
Cool. And we do actually have another really big announcement, which is that not only since the last show did we hit 10,000 on our YouTube channel, we are now at 15,000, which is why the title of today's episode was 15K for DK, because we just hit 15,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. Obviously, big thank you to all the people who've been subscribing and supporting the show and watching all the other videos and doing all that kind of stuff. But keep subscribing. Keep leaving your likes. Keep leaving comments. Keep it up. We appreciate it. And you guys are great. What were you going to say, McDareth? Last little thing?
Oh no, I was gonna check what day, but we can check that later. Like look at the calendar and see like upcoming schedule for stuff. But that's all good.
All right. Well, you guys have a lovely evening. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and until then, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye, everybody.
What? No, don't play this shit.
Happy birthday, Ghost!
No, don't do this, man.
What are you talking about?
I want to hear this.
Chicken jockey.
I've got to come, so I'm coming for Coast.
What the fuck?
Just sit there coming, if it's not for Coast.
Hey, yo.
Get those manos moving, so we come for Coast. Get those manos moving, so
Jason get those manos?
Yes.
Hold on, I gotta stop this. I gotta stop this.
The comfort coast The comfort.
That was pretty fire though. I gotta say that was
Manos
pretty
movie.
So,
That's
so anybody that did not know, that is the that's what C4C means. Now you know.
good. Wow.
How the fuck? Who the fuck?
There's new
That
people
is
since we haven't really said what it
crazy.
means in a long time. So there's new people.
Yeah.